Thank you very much. Thank you. Keep an eye on that box up there. It's going to be very important at the end of the show. I have in the wings 2 clear Perspex boxes. One of them is covered in a blue cloth, the other one is covered in a green cloth. One of those boxes, not necessarily the blue one, contains a fan of £50 notes. There are 10 of them held together by a clip, so that box under the cloth would look like this. Bing! And that totals £500 in that box. The other box, by no means the green one, is crammed full of £50 notes, totaling £5,000. It looks like this. Bing! That's the other box. That's me making that noise. In a minute, I'll ask for one of the boxes to be brought out and placed on stage. I'm going to ask one of you to guess which box you think it is, the £500 box or the £5,000 box. If you get it right, you can have the money. It does have to be a man, sorry. Oh, we wanted to have a go as well. So if you that's how you talk. So if you catch this and you know you are a lady, just pass it to the nearest man. Let me try and get it up upstairs there. Somebody catch? There you go. Somebody stand up for me. Stand up, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your name, sir? Dan. Thank you, Dan. Good. Now, Dan, I stand to lose potentially £5,000 to you tonight, so I reserve the right just to ask you a few questions before I decide which box to bring out. So, Dan, please listen carefully and, above all, answer honestly. Dan, question number 1. Imagine, if you will, you are in an ice cream parlor, and the waiter comes up to you. He says, "Hey, Dan," because you've been there before and he recognizes you. He says, "Hey, Dan, today we only have the 2 flavors of ice cream, chocolate and tutti frutti. Which do you like, chocolate or tutti frutti?" Those are your only 2 choices, Dan, chocolate or tutti frutti. If you don't know what tutti frutti means, it means literally all the fruits. Tutti frutti. What would you like, Dan, chocolate or tutti frutti?
Tutti frutti.
Thank you. Tutti frutti. Thank you very much. Question number 2. Imagine, if you will, you are at home. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You're on the internet. Are you A, bidding for an item on eBay? Are you B, ordering a book on amazon.co.uk? Or are you C, none of the above? A, B or C, Dan?
C.
C, bless you for your honesty, thank you. C. Thank you, Dan. C, none of the above. Question number 3. Imagine, if you will, you are in home base. Yes. Are you going to buy a blue washing up brush, and a brown washing up brush? Or a brown fuck it, name a country, any country in the world, Dan, go on. Any country in the world?
Australia.
Australia, interesting, thank you. Okay, so, what's that? That is tutti frutti ice cream, none of the above, it's wanking, obviously, and Australia. I think tonight, for Dan, it's going to be the green box, please, Stephen. The green box. Thank you very much. Just there. Thank you. Now, Dan, there are already 2 reasons why I might expect you to go for 5,000 instead of 500. I'm just going to tell you what they are, so you can make a free and informed decision. First reason is this. I put a lot of attention on you in front of 10, 12,000 people, maybe. I'm not sure the exact capacity of the theatre, but I know every fibre in your body, Dan, will want to do anything other than appear boring. And that is a very natural human response in front of this number of people. Anything other than appear boring. And that somehow you might think that to say 500, that might sound a bit boring, so maybe I should say 5,000 so I don't appear boring. That's the first reason, so as not to appear boring. And the other reason I might expect you to go for 5,000 is that I know the more I tell you this kind of thing, the more sort of confused you become, the more you think about it, the more likely you are just to go, I don't know, it's only 50-50, I might as well go for 5,000, it's only 50-50, which would be good logic. Dan, if this was random. But it isn't really random, because I think about it. The answers that you gave, the way you conducted yourself when you gave me those answers, told me everything I needed to know in order to decide which box to bring out, in that I thought through the answer that I think you might give and then asked for the opposite box, thus making you wrong, because, forgive me, Dan, the idea is I don't want to give you my money. But if you get it right, you can have it. Is it £500 or is it 5,000?
5,000.
5,000?
Yes.
Good. £5,000. And I'm going to give you the rest of the show to change your mind if you like, just so you don't feel manipulated or pressurised in any way. But for now, £5,000 it is. I'll leave it there. I won't touch it. Give him a hand. Thank you, Dan. £5,000. Excellent. Good. All right, now a simple exercise in focus using this. An ordinary handheld banana, which I will... and I should point out, I am very pleased to see so many of you here tonight, just maybe not quite as pleased as some of you over there may have thought until I just took that out of my pocket. Going to place the banana on the old banana stand. At some point during tonight's show, a man in a gorilla suit, I shit you not, is going to come around that corner, take the banana and walk out. That I'm hoping most of you will miss that moment. If you do see him come on, please don't call out, "Oh, the banana's gone," or "There's the gorilla." It'll kind of give it away to everybody else. But I'm hoping most of you will miss that. Good. So meanwhile, we're going to play a game that I used to love growing up. You know it. It's 20 questions. You think of an object. I have to guess what it is within 20 yes or no questions. Dan, you should have a frisbee up there. So I'm going to ask you to throw that one, Dan, to somebody, just gently, but to somebody else in your sort of level up there, and we'll give them a head start to get down here. Lovely. So... that'll be you. I think you just won a goldfish. Well done. Somebody got that? Lovely. Would you start heading down? We'll give you a hand. Quick as you can. Quick as you can, madam. Quick as you can. Thank you. Run, run. Thank you. Let's go upstairs. Let's get somebody from the top. Oh. You've got that one, so if you want to start heading up as well, let me try and get... Oh, God. That's you as well. Excellent. Great. Now let's do a couple more down here. Start heading down, please. One there and one there. Oh! Excellent, good. All right, bring yourselves up here. Steps on either side. Excellent. Come round the corners, please. Steps on either side. Quick as you can. Bring them down with you. Good. Hello, very nice to meet you. I'm going to bring you over here, if that's all right. Ask you to stand about there, facing the front. All ladies so far. Hello, nice to meet you. Can I put you on this side of that lady, just there? Hello. Hello, nice to meet you. Can I just bring you over there, stand you next to that lady there? Good. Hello there. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you. Can I put you about there, I think? Hello. Where's your frisbee? Could you throw it back? Is that all right? Thank you. They're not cheap, so thank you. Good. And we're just waiting for this chap there. Give him a hand. There he comes, so he doesn't walk up to stony silence. Thank you for coming all the way down there. Thank you very much. Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you. Let me take that from you. I'm going to put you at the end now. I'll just move you around a little bit here. Let me swap you for you, if that's all right. You two ladies swap round for me. And I'm going to now swap you two around like that, I think. Good. Good. Okay, all right, please remember the order that you're in. You're number 1, you're number 2, thank you. You're number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Please remember that. That's also the order in which you're going to die, if that's of any interest to you. It's true. Absolutely true. Going to ask you to come and write down your objects one at a time. So please, you need to be thinking of an object for this game. So one at a time, if you just take a step back, and you last 3, just curl around a bit, just so you can see this table here. Okay, and when you're done, if you fold them up, put them in your pocket. So number 1, fold it up in your pocket, out the way, and come and stand at the front. Quick as you can, all of you actually, quick as you can, just sort of one at a time, back to the audience, please. Nice and large and clear, come and stand at the front when you were done. The other game that I used to play when I was growing up, and I'm trying to kind of popularise this and spread it around a bit. Nice way of doing it on TV, actually. Do any of you know this game? Statistically, it'll be about 10 of you. This game? A few of you, good. Okay, thank you. It's called Hole Tempting. Hole tempting, very simple. I have to make you look at this shape. You have to resist looking at this shape. That's all it is. Different ways of playing. There's the old peripheral slow burn method, which is this. When you know that it's there, and I know that you know that it's there, it's just a matter of time before you cave in and you have to look at it. There is... Oh, I'm sorry. The old speck of lint method, also very effective. And you play this with your friends, it takes over your life until you're building snow arms in the snow outside your flatmate's window at 4 in the morning when you're at university. So play it, please, spread it around. Hole tempting. Not quite as rude as you perhaps thought. Are we all done yet? Can you get the line at the end there? Could you want to make room for the 2 ladies at the end? Thank you very much. Good. So starting with you, number 1, if you come over here for me. Let me stand you right there. In fact, if you just face that a little bit, I'm going to get you a sticker. You are number 1. Number 1, thank you. Number 1, your object, let me turn you a little bit towards me so I can just get the light on you. Good. Your object, now obviously it should fall into the animal, vegetable or mineral category. Would it fall into the animal category, yes or no?
No.
No. All right, a massive go at me. Is it something that you use in conjunction with your hobbies or your interests?
Yes.
Yes. Show me your hands. Does it begin with a Y?
No.
Is it a rugby ball?
Correct.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Thank you, number 1. I'll ask you to head back to your seat if you don't mind. Give number 1 a hand as he heads back. Great stuff. Rugby ball, good work. You are number 2. Can I give you that? Number 2. Thank you. Stay there for a second. You actually wouldn't mind just sticking that there. Thank you. Lovely. Again, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. And can I give you these and ask you to do the same? Please make sure, I know you know I can't see through the papers, but so they don't think, fold up your papers, put them behind your back, so you know I can't see. Lovely. Number 2, we're going to try 2 of you together. So number 2, if you come and stand here for me. Thank you. And number 3, if you stand there. So if you just make room in the middle, that'd be lovely. So 2 of you together. If you stand there facing the front. Maybe I'll try 3 of you together. Last time I tried this, it didn't work, but we're filming it, so I'll try. Can you come and join us as well? So if you come in the middle, number 3, sorry, and number 4, if you stand there, leave a gap in between you, so just enough so I can stand there and try and be symmetrical, otherwise I can't relax and I can't do it. So I'm going to be very quick. 3 people together, not easy. I'm going to ask you for complete silence, if that's all right, while I try and do this. Please be quick with your answers. Be ready with your answers. Is it bigger than a piano?
Yes.
Yes. Is it bigger than a piano?
No.
Is it bigger than a piano?
No.
I think I know what yours is. Is it something you use indoors? One might have indoors. No. Something you have outside?
Not particularly.
Are they brightly coloured?
Nope.
Are they ever stripy?
It can be.
Is it something that you... is there a famous one in London?
No.
Does it begin with a T?
No.
Is it a UFO?
Yep.
Hang on. UFO, I'm going to say earrings.
Yes.
And it's got to be a whip, hasn't it? Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, number 3 and number 2. Thank you so much. Do you mind heading back that way? Do you mind heading back that way? That's okay. Thank you. Give them a hand. Great words. Thank you, guys. Can I ask you both just to take a step forward for me? Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do it with you. I'm sorry. If I mess up on the last one, it always looks a bit awful. I think I might have to send you back. What do you do for a living? You're not a teacher, right? What do you do?
Just finished uni.
Just finished uni. Okay. What's your name?
Holly.
Holly, I hope you're not going to hate me. I hope you're quietly relieved. I think I'm going to have to send you back. I don't think I'm... No, you hang on to the work, you hang on to that. But thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. Kiss, kiss, thank you. Mwah. I'm sorry, Holly. Give Holly a hand as she goes back. I do apologise, Holly. I don't think it'll work. But number 5, come over here. Okay. I'm going to ask you similar questions. Yes or no answers only. But you're only going to answer in your head. So you'll say nothing out loud. Okay? Now, it's quite easy if you're only answering in your head to sometimes just sort of glaze over and not even think yes or no. But you must very clearly think yes or no, or I don't know is fine, but nothing out loud, otherwise I'd have to bitch slap you, and I will. I know you know I can't see through. If you don't mind just holding it behind your back or folding it again, just so they don't think I can somehow see through that, would be great. Can you see me all right without your glasses on? You can speak now. It's only when I come to the questions. It's only when I come to the questions. For now, you can speak. Can you see me all right without your glasses on?
Yes.
Lovely. If you could take them off for me and perhaps ask yourself why you're even wearing them. Would make logic. Well, they look quite expensive. It's a waste of time and money, I think. Lovely. So just put your hands behind your back so you can write. Okay. So also, I'm going to bring a camera out on stage because I want you all to see the same signals that I'm picking up on here. So try not to be self-conscious about the camera. If you just focus on your word, don't be distracted or self-conscious as your enormous pink head floats up there on the screen behind you in front of 1,000 people. Lovely. Can we all see this? Is that clear? Yes? See? Very simple game. Childishly simple. Good. Okay, so number 5. Remember, nothing out loud. Just in your head. Nothing out loud. Is it bigger than a piano? Is it something... is it an object that provides pleasure in some form? Oh, don't titter at that because it sounds rude. Lady in the front. It sounds a bit rude. Sorry. But... Okay. Could you shove it up your arse? No, don't answer that. It's not a proper question. Do people use them at work? Are they reflective? Do they come in sets? Is it a mouse? You can answer.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Lovely. Thank you so much, number 5. Thank you. Mouse, great one. I want you to head back that way, if that's your mind. Number 5, everybody. Mouse, great word. Great strong image in her mind. Did any of you see the signals? Did any of you spot the little signals there that gave it away? Did any of you see the gorilla? Anybody? Yes? You were watching the box. Excellent. Good. Good. I'm pleased somebody is. Excellent. No, do keep your eye. I don't remember what happened during the show. My neck hurts. I remember that. No, excellent. Please, you are. Anybody else see the gorilla? Come on. There was a few. Yeah, okay, a few of you. Lovely. Go. Okay, you're in the worst seats there. I'll give you another chance to spot the gorilla. Can I get the banana back, please? Can I get the banana back, please? Thank you. Another chance to spot the gorilla before the... do you like my badge, by the way? I don't know if you can really see that from where you are. That is an... See? childishly simple. It really is. Dan, do you want to change your mind on this? Where are you, Dan? You said 5,000. I said a lot of people often they don't say 500 because they're worried it might sound boring. But because I've said this, you don't need to worry about that now because I've said it. So you know, if you want to change £500 not to be sniffed at, what do you want to do? Stick with 5,000 or change?
Stick.
You're going to stick. Good, good. I mean, most people would. It feels like a sign of weakness if you change. I'd stick with it if it was me. I'd kick myself if I was wrong. But it's entirely up to you. I'll ask you one more time. And whatever you say the next time, I will take as your absolute final decision. Good. Okay, let's try something with a man, but a man who isn't here. Explain what I mean. I would like to try something with a friend or relative of one of yours that we can reach on the phone. I want to try something over the phone with a friend of one of yours. So, just think about this. I'm just going to ask people in the stalls, if that's right, just for speed in terms of getting up here. It does need to be a man. You can be male or female, but the person we're calling needs to be male, okay? I'd also like them to know who I am and be up for doing this. It's fairly excruciating if I have to explain who I am, particularly on television. Just bear that in mind as well. Also, you're going to be calling from a different number because I have this phone Bluetoothed up to a speakerphone that we're going to use. So if you're pretty much 100% certain there is somebody that you can get hold of who you think would be up for doing this, and it's a guy, please put your hands up. Put your hands up so I can see you, just downstairs. Thank you. Hands right up. If you've got your hand up and you end up with a frisbee, please then stand so I know we've got 3 people selected. Let's do one over that way and one over that way so I can see when we have 3 people selected. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, here are the rules. Whoever gets up here first, and you can start running up now. Whoever gets up here first, I will begin with you. The other 2, I'd like you to stand by the steps. You will be our very important backup audience members. Good. So you're up here first. Give them a round of applause. Lovely to meet you. Hello there. If you can come by the mic for me. So, the other 2, I'm going to ask you to stand by the steps. Can I take your frisbee from you? And over here as well. What's your name?
Rob.
Rob, who are we going to call?
My dad.
Your dad. Okay. And what's his name?
Jim.
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 And you're Rob, yes?
Yes.
Okay, Jim. Now, what does Jim do for a living?
He's a retired paramedic.
Oh, right. Okay. So was a paramedic, now retired. Does he have any interests or hobbies? Anything you know about outside of his?
He runs a football club.
He runs a football club?
Yeah.
My God.
Amateur football club, but yeah.
Okay. Any pets he has in the house?
No, he used to have a dog.
Used to have a dog.
Yeah.
Do you know what the dog was called?
Shandy.
Shandy. Trying to predict what someone's going to do over the phone is so difficult. Without them there in front of me, it's almost impossible to do this. But you're going to call Jim, call your dad in a minute. And does he know you've come to see the show?
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay. You're going to tell him it was terrible. It was so bad that you've left early, in fact. Would he believe this, do you think?
Yeah, he might do.
Oh. He doesn't...
He's seen
This doesn't sound like someone that any of us would warm to socially, that's all. Okay, all right, well, you're going to call him, tell him it's really bad, you've left early, you can say I was playing the guitar, anything you want to say, really bad, but you've left early. And during the course of the conversation, I may hand you cards that have questions on them and so on, just to kind of keep the conversation going, all right?
Okay.
But at the end of the conversation, you were going to ask your dad to name a 3-digit number.
Okay.
I think I can tell you in advance what this 3-digit number will be. The number that I think Jim's going to say, Rob's dad, is 3, 4... does he still play football at all? I mean,
no.
even in a fun kind of way?
No, not really, no.
And did he ever play earlier?
Yeah.
Let's go 7. 3, 4, 7. I can't guarantee the order of the digits. It might be 3, 7, 4, might be 7, 4, 3, but certainly those digits are not in that order. If I get this wrong, by the way, there is £10 in it for you, Rob. Not quite as confident with this as I am with the money at the front, but yes, I know. But nonetheless, £10. Okay, good. So listen, you're going to call him on this phone. I know it's a slightly odd setup. You'll know it's him when he picks up. That's all that's important. So if you can type in the number now. Lovely. So that's the... You want to hold that. Maybe you need to say who you are. It's a speakerphone, so you can just hold it like that.
Okay.
You need to speak up a little bit and you need to say who you are. The rest of you got to keep absolutely quiet. Any noise in the background, they'll know something's going on. So you've got to keep absolutely quiet.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Yes.
Hello, it's Rob. I just thought I'd give you a ring because we just came out of Derren Brown.
And?
It was rubbish. We've just walked out of it, to be honest. I was a bit disappointed. Yeah, I thought it was going to be really good, but... Actually, there was one good thing that Darren did.
Darren?
Let me try it with you, actually. Give me a sec. Right, imagine a blackboard. Now imagine you're going up to the board and you're going to write a 3-digit number on it. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
What's the first digit?
1.
Second one?
Second digit?
1.
Third digit? Any number. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, one more time. Go up to the blackboard, rub those numbers out in your mind, and write
Yeah.
write 3 different numbers.
Any numbers, any numbers.
Any numbers you like.
Okay, start again. First number.
First number,
5,
5. Second number,
2,
2. And third number,
9.
529. Brilliant, Dad. Thanks.
Let me have a word with him. Hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. Hello, this is Derren Brown. I'm on stage with Rob at the moment.
All right then.
Hello. Everyone say hello to Jim. Hi, Jim. So listen, Rob caught a Frisbee, and then he volunteered to call you on stage. So will you just stay with us a moment longer? You're also on television, because we're televising this for my TV show. So just bear with us. Please, please stick with us. Jim, I've written down the numbers that I think you're going to say. Okay?
Right.
I've written them down, and Jim, they are in full view of an entire audience. There's 1,000 people here. You're on speakerphone. And they all know what the numbers are going to be, including Rob. So you know, if I tell you you've got the numbers right, then you know I can't possibly change them because everybody can see them. Now, Rob, so far you've got them wrong twice. I'm going to give you one more chance at getting them right. I mean, you're embarrassing yourself, I think, more than anybody else. So, Jim, just imagine you're going up to a blackboard. You're going to write those 3 numbers. Don't think about it, just do it. And then Rob's going to ask you what they are, one at a time. Rob, can you ask your dad what the first one is, please?
What's the first number, Dad?
1.
1.
1. The second one?
The second one?
1.
1.
1, 1. And the last one?
Last one?
7.
7.
Is correct. 117 is correct. Amazing. Give him a hand. Jim, you got it absolutely spot on. 117 was good. There's a big banner across the stage that says, Jim will say 117, and you just got it spot on. Now, I know it's not the same when you can't see it, when you're not here yourself, but how does that feel? That's amazing. You just got it right.
Very good.
Oh, excellent. No, it really is. Pardon?
I'm number 1.
You are number 1. You are number 1. You know, you really got it right. You really are number 1. I tell you something else, Jim, and this is just from listening to your voice on the phone,
Okay.
and I swear to God and on the lives of my children that I haven't been given any clues by Rob, but I would say that you, I'm guessing you're perhaps retired, but I think you maybe used to work in some sort of medical setting, maybe a paramedic or something like that?
That's correct.
Oh, excellent. And I would say you also have quite a keen interest in football, but maybe working with other people that play football or a football club or something like that.
Yes, that's correct.
And you either have, or maybe you used to have a dog and you would have called it Shandy.
Yes.
Amazing. Listen, thank you, Jim. You've been fantastic. Give Jim a hand. Say goodbye, everybody. Thank you, Jim. Rob will explain everything, I'm sure. Goodbye. Thank you. Jim, Rob, brother, you win the £10, but thank you so much indeed. I'll let you head back. Rob, everybody, give him a hand. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. That was way off, wasn't it? Actually, Rob, just come back for a second. Sorry, come back for a second. I feel bad about this, mainly because it was shit, and I lost £10, which I'm never happy with. Just come back for a second for me. You can keep the money; it's yours. Don't worry, unless you want to gamble. No, of course not. So look, 3, 4, 7. He said 116. 6 add 1 is 7, perhaps. 9 take away 2 is 7. 5 take away 2 is 3. It's all sort of there, but not in. No, I'm clutching at straws, aren't I? But there is. Can we get a camera on stage just so I can explain this bit? So when you tell him about this, I don't want him thinking that he did just get it wrong or mess up, or even that I did. So I want you to be able to explain to him because the numbers he chose are actually kind of quite interesting. Do you have the? You've got the £10 note. You've got the money, haven't you? Of course you have. Yeah, take it out for a second for us. There is some writing on the inside of the note. Don't open it quite yet. You need to do a couple of things. You need to hold it and open it up so the camera can see it and sort of keep it still like that. And just read out what it says. So do that for me. Go on, read it out.
I will make him say this number.
This number. There's an arrow. It points to the serial number on the bill. Just turn it around. Just read out the last 6 digits for us. Go on then.
116,529.
Yeah, 116,529. He got the serial number. The serial number on the note. Thank you, Jim, wherever you are. Keep the money. Show your dad when you see him. Thank you very much indeed. Rob, everybody. Rob and Jim, wherever you are. Thank you very much indeed. Serial number on the note. Dan. Dan, whatever you say next is your final decision. This is it. This is it. Your final decision. A couple of things I need to say first about the interval to the rest of you. First of all, that box up there, you need to know no one's going to touch that during the interval. Okay, now because of what I'm about to say, I think most of you will be staying in here during the interval. But for those of you that do leave, so you know no one's going to touch it, I need to nominate one of you whose job it will be to guard the box during the course of the interval. So, let's try and get this up the top. Oh, very good, very good. Stand up for me, somebody. Stand, please, stand. Thank you so much. Your name, please. Amanda. Are you happy that between you and your friends, you'll make sure that, you know, one of you is keeping an eye on that box throughout the interval?
I'm sure we can.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Everybody else will buy you a drink each as a way of saying thank you. But take a seat for us, Amanda. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Amanda. You can take a seat. Thank you. And Amanda, if you don't mind, would you throw the frisbee back to me as well? You have to throw it quite hard. Just bear in mind it comes to me out the darkness and is fucking terrifying, but thank you. Secondly, in the 1920s and 30s, there was an act that was very popular around this part of town. It was known as the Oracle Act. In the Oracle Act, members of the audience would each write down a personal question, a private personal question, and seal it into a little envelope. And on the outside of the envelope, they would write down their initials and the row that they're sat in the auditorium. And they would bring up that envelope with the question sealed inside and drop it in a bowl with everybody else's. And then the oracle, the performer, the mind reader, would reach in, take an envelope one at a time. He wouldn't open it, but he would try and deduce from the way those initials are written on the outside or from clues given off by the spectators when they stand up and identify themselves. He would try and deduce what question that person would have written. And if he got it right, he would try and answer the question for them accurately and correctly. This is what I want to do with you in the second half of the show. So if you want to take part, there are 3 things you need to do. Firstly, get yourself an envelope. There'll be some on each level with the ushers. There'll be some up here on stage by the stairs. Secondly, write your question. I don't mind what the question is. You can ask me, you know, what the password is on your computer. It could be that sort of thing, what your PIN number is if you want. Or if you prefer, it could be more of a, you know, whether or not you're going to get the promotion that you want at work, something like that to do with your own future. I don't mind, as long as the question is seriously meant. When you've written it, keep it private. Don't let anybody see what you write, and don't tell anybody what you've written when you've done it. Don't tell your friends that you're with here tonight, and also don't even tell your partner, please, until you get home. Keep it absolutely private. Don't tell a soul. Put it in the envelope, seal it up, make sure it's sealed, I won't touch them if they're not. Hold it up to the light, check that you can't somehow kind of see through them. They're thick, black, opaque card envelopes. You can't see through them, but do check. And then on the outside there is a sticker. On the sticker, I need you to write your initials and the row that you are sat in, along with the level that you're at. Third thing is you come up, you put it in the bowl with everybody else's. Dan, this is you now. Whatever you say is your final decision. I know you know what the options are, but just so that you know what it'll look like when I take the cloth off, let me just go through them very quickly, what they'll look like. The first option is £500, not to be sniffed at, 10 notes held by a clip. In a fan, it looks like this. Option number 2 is £5,000, which you're on at the moment, and looks like this. If it helps you at all to make up your mind, Dan, here is a picture of our previous winner. Dan, for potentially £5,000, is it 500 or is it 5,000? Out loud, please, I'm not a fucking mind reader. 500 or 5,000, Dan?
I'll stick with £5 grand, please.
He sticks with £5,000, doesn't want to change his mind. £5,000. No! It was the 500, never mind, give him a hand, never mind, Dan. I'm sorry, I'd have loved you to win it. Most people do change their mind at the end. I was really hoping you would. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Just very briefly, if I can find my pen, just keep your eyes focused on the easel for a second, please. I just need oh no, you've seen him, that's my fault. Sorry, don't take your head off, you've got 20 minutes. Keep your eye on the box. Go and get a drink. I will see you back here for the second half. Thank you. The point is, now, that I have no idea how well the rest of the show will work or come together. I'm not just saying this to make it seem more exciting. I genuinely don't know. The Oracle Act, which I will get to, it was the act in the 20s and 30s that sorted the men from the boys. And if you could do this, you were revered amongst your fellow performers. And they would vie with each other to see who could do it in the most dramatic or theatrical way. But as the secrets of how to do this got passed down over the generations, the amount of effort that it took, and mental focus and research even, meant that it all but died out. It got diluted into that lazy option that you see nowadays, when psychics and mediums stand on stage, and it may sound like they're being specific, but they're just throwing out information and letting you make it fit your own experience. But this was something different. This was something that people obsessed about, being able to give real answers to real questions, to the extent that it took over people's lives. 3 performers of this act went mad, properly mad, in the 20s and 30s. One of them famously drowned himself in the Thames in 1938. And before I get to it, I want to contextualize it for you and show you a couple of the stranger phenomena that were around at that time that led people to believe in the Oracle Act. I'd like 5 of you to stand in the stalls, please. Please stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Please stand. You are going to throw those frisbees backwards in a minute so that everybody definitely gets a chance to join in at the back there. Off you go. Thank you. So stay standing. Will the next set of 5 please stand as well? Stand up as well, please, making 10 of you in total. Thank you. But you need to grab one of these. You need one of these each. So grab one off the table or grab one from me and then line yourselves up along the stage. And please leave your frisbee here or give it to me. Give them a hand, please, as they come up. Thank you. If you grab one of those, leave your frisbee on the table if you got one. Thank you so much. That's one for you. Great. If you can get a line, start a line going there. One for you. Thank you, sir. One for you. I'll take that back. Thank you. And one for you as well. Lovely. Do you want to be this end of the line? So, yes, move yourselves up by that little way a little bit. Grab one of those from the table, please. Get yourselves in line there across the stage. And there's one there for you, so you can go down that end if you like. Lovely. Great. You line yourselves up. There's a sort of a line that goes right across the stage there. If you can just line yourselves up with that, that'll be great. Okay. Let me show you how to hold these. So it's your right hand, please, out like this. And you need to make sure you've got the full length of the string hanging down, so don't sort of wrap it around your fingers. So don't look at me, look at the weight, but listen to me. So listen to my voice, but keep your attention focused, please, on the weight. And as you listen to me, and as you watch the weight, it'll begin to swing from side to side. It's from left to right, from side to side as you keep your attention focused. And as you watch it, and as you listen to me, I want you to command it in your mind now to swing. Command it to swing in your mind, left to right. Use your sense of control, of willpower, of imagination. Focus on it, tell it to swing from left to right. As you see it start to go, tell it to go more and more. Imagine that line that it's swinging along, extending, pulling it further and more. Wider swing. Good. Step forward for me, sir. Step forward for me there too. Left to right. Step forward as well, sir. Left to right. Step forward for me, please. Keep your attention focused. Tell it to swing more and more. Step forward for me, madam, please. Keep your attention focused. Step forward, sir, please. Step forward. Keep your attention focused. Now tell it to go. Step forward, sir, please. Tell it to go in a circle. Tell it to go in a circle. Watch what happens. It'll struggle with its own momentum and then start to move around and around in a circle. Watch it. Watch as it changes. Around and around. Tell the circle to get bigger and clearer. Good. Around and around and around. Keep your attention focused. Reach out and stop it. Good. Good. Thank you. Now, I would like you and I think you and you and you to go and stand by that table at the back. Could you do that for me? All of you can drop your hands, relax. You put these in your pockets, take them home with you. If you didn't have much luck, try it without 1,000 people staring at you. Can you 3 just stand over there at the top of the steps there for me? And can you 3 stand there at the top of those steps? Thank you. And you 4, you're going to need your hands free, so please put these in your pocket. Unless you don't have one, I'll take it off you for the moment. Come forward for me. I'd like you to inspect this table, so do lift it up, lift it right up. Check it's an ordinary table. It's a fairly heavy, solid wooden table, not attached to anything, if you can check that for me. And no wheels on the bottom as well. I can just check that as well. Are you happy with this? Lovely. Okay, thank you. Put it straight back down for me. Now I need to move you just around the table. If you come around here for me, and you go around there, if you can come around there, madam, and you come on this side for me. Good. Now, you're going to have your hands on the table. I just need to explain to you exactly what this will be like, the position you're going to be in. So just do this for me. So hands flat on the table. So you want to make sure that you're not sort of putting all your weight on the table. That's important. But, you know, firm contact with the table is good, but not sort of leaning fully on it. That'll be great. Lift them up for me. You can relax. Step back for a second now. When they did this in the seances, they would always begin with the name of a few people who had passed on, written down and placed in the name box, which this will serve as here. So, look, I don't want names of anybody that would be difficult for you to think about or anyone you've just lost, but I just need a couple of Christian names. So do you know anybody a name you can give me for the box?
Steve.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what? We will go with Steve and Mark for the moment. We don't have to believe for a second these people are somehow sort of floating in the air above us or anything like that, but it can give us just a name to sort of attach to the energy when I ask you to imagine it. So, the names go in the name box. If you place your hands on the table, please, as I asked you to. Good. So in a moment, this table will start to move, and it's going to move that way, straight towards the audience. It always moves in the direction of where the people are, where the most people are, so it will go that way. Please be clear in your mind which way that is. Imagine a life force, an energy moving up into that table. Your job when it moves is to move with it. You don't block it, you don't push it, but you don't stop it either. You move with it when it goes, and you wait for it. The moment it goes, you start moving with it. Imagine this energy, a life force moving up into the table. Focus on it. Imagine this idea, this life force up, moving up into the table. Tell it to move, tell it to slide, tell it to slide, tell it to move. Be ready. The moment that it goes, you just go with it. Be ready, be focused, move with it the moment it goes. Keep moving as it gets towards the stage. Turn as it goes with it, turn. As you get to the end of the stage, you need to turn with it. You'll need to move with it. As it spins and turns, it'll keep turning. You need to move around with it. As it gets faster and faster, you move with it, please. It will get faster. This is called finding the room as it becomes more confident. Let me ask you as you're doing it, keep going with it, but are you pushing it at all?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No.
No. They're not pushing it. Keep in contact with the table. Do this for me. Take a step forward. This will feel a bit silly at first. Take the mic and just call it to you, like you're calling it. It's called. Come to me and really mean it. Will it to you.
Come here.
Come to me. That's good. Now they can't see where this guy is, because they're focusing on the table, but the table will find its way. It's tipping.
Come to me.
Keep coming. Come to me. Come to me. Good. Over this side. Take the microphone. Call it. Come to me.
Come to me.
Come to me. Come to me. Keep calling, even without the mic. Keep calling. Keep calling. Are you pushing it?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
No.
No. Good. All right. Back over here. Take the microphone. You two. You try it now. Call it. Come to me.
Come to me.
When it reaches you, you tell it
Come
to stop.
to me.
Say, come straight to me.
Come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
Come to me. When it reaches you, tell it to stop. Faster.
Come to me.
Say faster.
Come to me. Faster.
To me. Straight to me.
Faster. To me. Straight to me.
Come to me. When it reaches you, say stop. When it gets to you,
Stop.
Stop. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Give them a hand. I'm going to hang on to you, sir. I'm going to hang on to you. Ask the rest of you to go and take a seat. Give them a hand, please. Mind how you go down the stage. You're probably a bit dizzy. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for coming up. Right. The table is covered in sweat. That's a really nice touch. Thank you for that. Now, you're not pushing it, are you?
No. Sometimes it was going in my direction, so I couldn't have been pushing.
Exactly. No, and also, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a very light touch that you have on the table, yes?
Yeah.
What's your name?
John.
John, okay. What you've seen here, table turning or table tipping, come in the middle for me for a second, John, was very popular amongst the mediums back in the seances, and a certain amount of competition sprung up between them to see who could provide the most dramatic or impossible demonstrations of this. And in the 1920s, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who was the man that gave us the mastermind of rationalism, Sherlock Holmes, himself became a proud proponent of spiritualism. And in 1924, the same year that he wrote a book proclaiming his belief in fairies, Conan Doyle went to visit a medium who lived in Stepney in East London. And there he witnessed what he later described as the single most convincing and impossible demonstration of table turning that he'd ever seen. The medium that he saw was a man called Albert Macy. Albert Macy, who convinced him, was a fraud. He was a charlatan. He was one of the few mediums to be imprisoned for fake mediumship as they were in those days. Sadly, not anymore. John, you have the name of someone in your mind who's passed on? Yes? Okay, I'm going to ask you to write it down to go in the name box. So when you've written it, if you can fold it as small as you physically can once you've written it, that'd be great. Thank you. Do that for me now. They believed in the day that spiritualism was an offshoot of Christianity, mainstream Christianity, and the music that they would play to set the scene would reflect that. When you fold it up as small as it'll go, please put it in your pocket for me, John. This is a replica that I had made of Albert Macy's table. If you just come around this side for me here. Let me take the pen from you. John, I'm also meaning to hear what you're saying, so I'm going to put a microphone pack on you. If you just put your hand through that, I'll put it over your head. Thank you. I need you to relax. We'll just go with this and see what happens. I'm going to ask you to place your hands just on the corners of the table. So no pressure, there's no leaning, there's just a sort of a contact there and there. No pressure, no leaning. Good. Now, John, just so we know our mic's working, was it a man or a woman you're thinking of?
It's a man.
Then, John, as you focus on the table, I want you to imagine this man's life energy moving into the table. There it goes. You don't stop it, tell it to turn, go with it as it goes. Move with it. You're not pushing it, are you?
No.
No, you just move with it as it goes, keep in contact with it, tell it to turn, this is good. You just allow this energy. You're happy it's not attached to anything, yes?
Yep.
Say stop in your mind, lift your hands. At the risk of repeating myself, you are not pushing that, are you? You're not pushing it, are you? No, you're not. The spiritualists believed that the energy, the spirit, passed through us and into the table and back and forth. It was that kind of relationship. So the skeptics said, well, does that mean it can somehow pass through the tablecloth as well? Because in a situation like this, it's a cloth it'd have to go through. So they said, yes, of course, it can move through the tablecloth as well. So they said, well, in that case, just do it holding on to the very corners of the cloth, and we'll see if it works then. Very clever test. If you just take hold of the corners for me, just do that. The very corners of the cloth, that's great. Like that, just pull it an inch towards you, that's great, lovely. Now, the point of this test is, it should still work according to the believers, but if John is just moving his hands, all that'll happen is the cloth will move off the table won't move at all. Just be saying the name of this man to yourself again and again in your mind, nothing out loud, just quietly in your mind, as you keep your hands absolutely still, absolutely motionless. Okay, there was some movement. Okay, do you know what? I think maybe for now, you can let go for a second, relax, stand back here. One of the reasons I think, particularly on stage, just come towards it a little, come towards it. Just do me a favour, just move your hand over the top like that. You can see there's nothing attached to it, yes?
No.
Yep, in fact, give me your hand, John, give me your hand. Get it flat, 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 flat. Just press down gently, but just enough, you can feel it pushing back up, yes?
Yeah.
Yep, let go for it, let go. Ooh. I can show you, there's nothing, nothing kind of attached or... Have you got the name on you, the name that you wrote down? Take it out, we'll put it in the name box. They would always do this, they'd always have a name in the box, so let's do that. Folded it really, really small. Perfect, drop it in there for me, excellent, lovely. Again, just the way you were, take hold of the corners of the cloth again, please. The corners of the cloth again, just, whoop, good, 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 good. Keep moving with it, keep moving with it. Lift your hands, lift your hands, lift your hands right up. Okay, you got it on your own now. Don't move a muscle, you got it on your own. You got it on your own, do not move. This name of this man that you've been saying to yourself, John, and do speak out loud so we can hear you. Was it Vince or Vincent?
Vincent.
Vincent. He's gone, he's gone. Let it come back down. Move your hands with it. Move your hands. Let it come down, he's gone. He's gone. You can let go. He's gone. John, thank you so much for doing that for me. Thank you for coming up. Thank you so much, John, everybody. Thank you, John. What's amazing about that, I think, is despite the fact that it is clearly some sort of conjuring trick, it was enough to convince Conan Doyle of everything he wanted to believe in. Purely because he watched that through the eyes of belief. He was ready to believe. He was prepared to believe anything. And the Oracle Act, I believe, is a great testament to our need to believe. If a man stands on stage, calls himself the Oracle, armed with a few envelopes with initials on them, maybe some bandages to blindfold himself with, and says that he can give you easy answers to life's complex questions, or talk to the dead, we will flock to hear that kind of thing. It's part of our nature, our need to have answers given to us, and it is inescapable. I would like to tell you, before I continue with this act, 3 things in absolute honesty. First of all, I cannot see through these envelopes. You'll know this if you've written a question. They're thick, black, opaque envelopes. I can't see through them. Secondly, there is not a single stooge or confederate. Anybody in the audience is sort of going to be playing along. Equally, nobody's secretly feeding me information or anything like that. And thirdly, most importantly, I do not believe for a second that I have any genuine psychic ability. So let's begin. No. We could start with these 2 here. Okay, let's start with this. With these 2. Maybe this one here. Don't react if you know this is you. This says K. Don't react, please. K-M-E. Stools. I think that says B-B, which I'm guessing is quite near the front. But please don't react. Stools B-B. Now, I don't know if you can really see this, but the writing on there, it's a little unevenly spaced. And it does a slightly kind of up and down thing. This tells me that the writer of this question is somebody who, at the time of writing, was not sure of himself or herself. And the question will reflect, as opposed to that, very kind of solid, clear, sure of itself sort of writing. The question will reflect that. The question won't be kind of, you know, what was the name of my cat sort of thing. It'll be much more something that this person doesn't know themselves. So I think something they're uncertain about, their own future, questions about their plans and hopes and things, you know, whether or not they're going to come together. I think it's a lady. I think young, 18, 19, a lady. It'd be nice to meet you. If you are KME in Stalls BB, could you stand up so we can see you? Oh, hello there. Oh, right at the front. Can we get a microphone to you? Thank you very much. Yep. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi. Kay. Catherine? No. Katie?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. Thank you. Don't gasp. It was just a guess, but thank you very much. Bless you. Am I right? You're sort of 18, 19, I said? How old are you?
19.
This question is not a, you know, what's the name of the first person I kissed sort of question. It's something to do with your plans, future hopes and things, and whether or not they're going to come together in the way you'd like.
Yeah.
I think 19, I don't think this will so much be about a career motivation, but I think it'll be about something big enough that might force you into having to think about careers and stuff like that. So I think it would actually be about a geographical move or something that you'd like to do or are considering that would force you into a big sort of change of plans. Am I right in that area?
Sort of.
Yeah. Is your question, and be honest and tell me if I'm wrong, whether or not you will end up living in America?
Yeah.
Yes?
That's my question.
Excellent. Hang on to your mic. Hang on to the mic for a second. Here's the thing. Do you know what? Answering a question like this, if I was one of those people on stage who pretended to be psychic, I would love this. I'd lap it up. It's gold dust, because it's about the future. I could say anything I like. It sounds amazing, but you can't verify it. The danger is a yes or no answer when it's about the future and big plans like this is always damaging and irresponsible, even if it sounds positive. I'm not one of those people who tend to be psychic, and I have to and I want to take responsibility for my answers. If I said yes to you, if I said yes, the fact someone said that, even in the back of your mind, even only unconsciously you think it's inevitable, that it has to happen, that could really affect your future choices. However, anybody that asks a question like this is always somebody who's set their mind on a particular goal. Looking at you now and listening to you, I have every faith you're going to end up, if you continue to want to move to America, that you will end up living in America and making a success out of it and having a great time, because I think you're one of those people that will do well and tend to get what you want. I bet you changed your hair colour today.
Yeah, I did.
You did, didn't you? You're one of those people that would just get what you... I think you're somebody that when there's something that you like, something that you want, you really focus on it, and generally at the expense of other things that you probably should be focusing on a little bit more. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have every faith you will. So my answer is yes. Personally, I think you will end up living in America and having a great time. But I'm not going to say it like it's written in the stars, because I want you to take responsibility for it yourself. So it might not have been quite the yes you were after, but are you happy with that as an answer to your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much. Take a seat. Great. Let's do another one. Take another. What have we got here? A smiley face on the... Oh, that's the opposite of everything I asked for. It says SL row E. There we go. SL row E, that says the opposite of everything I asked. It's somebody under 18. I think a boy. I would say a teenage boy. And I would say a teenage boy sat with other teenage boys, because this guy has been egged on to write something a bit rude, and then feels embarrassed about it, hasn't wanted to identify himself properly. What he has written is all the SL row. He's all very nervous and scrunched together, hasn't identified himself properly because he's embarrassed about what he wrote. It'll say something like, why are you a wanker? Something like that. If anyone wants to open it up and have a look, you are welcome to. It won't be anything very nice, but feel free to open it up and have a look. Let's take another one. CKO, this says. Stalls, excuse me, Stalls row C. I would say this is a woman and in her mid-30s. I think hang on, CKO, Stalls row C. Oh, you're laughing because you opened the envelope. What does it say? Cock. Is that it? Just cock. Just what? It's the biggest laugh all evening. Thank you for that. Thank you, SL. Not as much of a cock as SL will feel when he realises he's failed all his exams later this year. CKO. Now, am I right? I said sort of mid-30s, 35 or so. It's a little rude to ask a lady her age, but am I right with the mid-30s?
Yes.
35?
Yes.
Okay. And I would think there's something on here, and correct me if I'm wrong, just yes or no, but I think there's something on here which would either be to do with something that you are wearing or something that you would like to wear. Am I right? Is there something in one of those two areas?
Yes.
Yes. I'm guessing from the smile, the earlier smile, that it's something you're wearing now as opposed to what you would like to wear, yes?
Yes.
Connected, I think, perhaps with the dress that you're wearing at the moment, which is quite striking, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so it's something about that. I think it's probably going to be where you got it from. So it's quite an unusual dress, yes?
Yes.
Okay, here's what you do. I want you to picture, keep absolutely silent as you do this, picture yourself walking into the shop where you bought it. Imagine yourself walking in and the transaction of paying for it. Okay, you're having difficulty with that. So perhaps if it was from a friend, just imagine that. Yeah, you're having real... Okay, it's not from a shop, is it?
No.
When I said transaction, something... I think I know where you got it. Are you happy for me to say?
Yes.
No giggling. Was it eBay?
Yes.
Excellent. And a great purchase, and well done, thank you. And also, are you... Sorry, 1 second. Just went through your head. Are you thinking of buying a cat at the moment?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you definitely should. Thank you. Take a seat. Thank you very much. Great. Give this lady a hand. Good. Okay, now I would love to get some objects involved, some personal objects. So I will ask people over here, because it means I can look away so I don't catch sight of anything by mistake. It doesn't have to be anything sort of flashy or expensive. Ideally, a little bit unusual, of course, would be great. Find a personal object and just hang on to it, have it in your head, but I will look the other way, so please do it for me while I'm not looking. Let's take another one from here. SP. SP, it says dress circle, row E. I'm going to say this is a man, and I would say probably about 30, and I think not of British descent. I would think from actually the way you do your S's, but SP, if you're SP, dress circle, row E, would you please stand up and say yes for us so I can... Lovely. So I'm right, not of British descent. Where are you from originally, or where's your background from?
Mum and Dad are from Uganda.
Mum and Dad from Uganda. So your name begins with S. Ugandan.
Of Indian origin, though.
Indian... Sachin?
Yeah. That's unbelievable. Sachin, yeah.
So I think there'll be something on here to do with, maybe something to kind of test me with a little bit, I don't know, but something to do with travel. I think somewhere where you've either been or would like to go, or something like that. Something in that world, yes?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay, all right. Put yourself back in that mindset of when you're going to go there, when you're going to head there. There's a little bit of trepidation in your mind. I don't know why that is. There's a little bit of trepidation. Now, this isn't you going back to Uganda or going to India or anywhere like that. It's somewhere very, very different, isn't it? You're on your own in this trip. Yes?
You freaked me out, totally.
But you know what? I think the trepidation means this is the first holiday that you've taken on your own.
Unbelievable, yeah, that's right.
Yeah? And this isn't that long ago, and it's Iceland.
Yeah, that's bang on.
Thank you very much again. Thank you very much. You can take a seat. Thank you very much. Good. Well done. Thank you. Let's. Do we have any objects? Do we have any objects? I don't want to look. I don't want to look at you, but if anybody's got anything, please stand up. I want to do as much as I can without looking at you. As much as I can without looking at you. Somebody, if you stand up, grab the guy with the mic and say yes, please.
Yes.
Into the mic. So, one more time?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, I'm not going to look at you. I'll do as much as I can without looking. This will be quite interesting. It will not be jewellery. It won't be anything flashy. This is not someone who spends a lot of money on kind of looking like, designer labels and kind of... I don't mean that horribly. I mean it in a good way. This will be something outgoing. This is something that will somehow tie with the idea of being a little bit of a free spirit. I'm right, aren't I? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to say, as much like... Okay, I'm going to try to look at you now and see what I can... it'll be surfing.
Yes.
Something to do with surfing. I would say this will be... What would you have with you? A little tub of the surf wax for the board.
Correct.
Is that it? Is it a tub of surf wax?
It is.
And I would say this is... Just think of the name of it. I can think of a few brands, but I'm not a big surfer myself. Okay, so immediately there's a Z and an X in this brand name that you're thinking of.
Yes.
I don't think I know brands of surf wax enough to is the word sex in there?
Yes.
That's probably the X. Okay, I might not be able to get him. What's the name of the brand?
Mr. Zog's sex wax.
Mr. Zog's sex wax. You want to just show the camera? Excellent. Thank you very much. Give him a hand. Thank you very much indeed. And actually, take the mic back for a second. Take the mic back for a second. Do you remember when and where you got it? Yes or no?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Just see the place. But just imagine the place. Oh, it's Cornwall. It's Newquay. Yes?
Yes.
And it was 5 years ago?
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you, good. Take a seat. Okay, now, all the way through this show, I've been wearing a microphone that goes around the back of my head, just here along my cheek. Now, because of what I'm about to do, I need to take this off, because it will physically get in the way of what I need to do. But because it's an odd contraption to take off, I just want a couple of you to check. If you don't mind standing up for me just there for a second. Just this isn't some... Could you stand up as well? That it isn't some weird contraption that could be feeding me information. Can you see what that is? It's a mic and then two things that would go around my ears, yep? And equally, while you stood up, you see I'm not wearing an earpiece or anything like that. You happy with that? And equally that ear, yep? Yep. Happy? Lovely, thank you. If you both take a seat, thank you. Don't be thinking it's, you know, anything that's helping me out. And I'm going to move to this microphone here. Hopefully you can hear me, yes? Yes? Excellent, good. Now, by doing this, by blindfolding myself, it becomes easier for me somehow to see the things that you're seeing in your head, even to think the things that you are thinking. And if you wanted to take part in this, if you wanted to write a question but you couldn't get an envelope, or you didn't know what to write, or you were nervous and you wish you had done it, you can take part in this. If you can sit there and think of a question that is clear and succinct, as if you'd written it, but do not write anything, and you can stick with the wording of that question, that I can just do this with your thoughts. You can just send the question to me. Send it to me, not here, here. Aim it to me here, aim it right here. Send me the question here, right here in the middle. As you're doing that, as you're starting to do it, I'd like to get some numbers written down. Now, there should be an usher with a pen and paper. I would like one person, please, to write down a 3-digit number. When you've done this, so you don't think I can be influencing this in some way, pass it back to the person behind you. I'd like them to write a 3-digit number as well. Then pass it back again, so the next person does it. I want a few of you writing down 3-digit numbers. And then if the last person, I'll get to draw a line and add them up, so we end up with a total that you know I can't be influencing. But please start doing that now. One person, please, pen and paper, 3-digit number, write it down, pass it back to the person behind you. There should be an usher with a pen and paper. Please be doing that for me now. Aim them here, aim the questions here, send them to me here. There is somebody already coming through. I'll start with a man. Downstairs in the stalls, you're in your mid-30s, might be 36, something like that. It's coming from the stalls. If you think this is you, please call out. Yes. Good. Please stand for me. Say when you got a mic.
Yep, got the mic.
Great. Okay, say stop when I get you. Say stop again, please. Say stop when I get you.
Stop.
Aries, you're an Aries.
Yes, I am.
There's something here about your house, I think. I think it's a house that you have.
Yes.
I think you don't live in it very much. There's something, it's about where this is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it'll be in France.
Yes.
You spent time in France.
Yeah.
You didn't just go out and buy this. There's something about the way that you acquired the house that's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, very.
Yes, you won it. You won it.
I
You won
did.
it in a competition.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well done. Congratulations. Take a seat. Thank you. Can we get the numbers added up, please? Can we get the numbers added up? That's so impressive. The numbers added up. Now, please, the last person, just add them up, draw a line, add them up, form a total. Do them in your head, please. Have the person next to you checking your addition. Please do it genuinely in your head. There are calculators, so you can back up, you can check it, you can check your addition. There's already someone in the circle coming through. There's a man in his mid to late 40s, maybe 46, something like that. Your name begins with an A. Andy, Andrew, probably more Andy than Andrew. If you think this might be you, 46, I think, call out. Let me hear you.
Yes.
It's Andy, isn't it? Yeah, let me just find you. Say stop when I get you, please.
Stop.
Capricorn, yes?
Yes.
This is it, and your voice confirms it to me. You had a question in your mind that was kind of a bit of a silly question. You didn't even think necessarily that I'd be able to do it. It was almost a bit of a kind of a test almost.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have got it, because what it is such a silly question that the image is really strong, which means that I'm going to get it quickly, which is why it's come through so quickly. You want to know whether or not you should shave your scrotum, Andy?
Yes.
If you think these sort of things, I'm going to get them really quickly. The answer to your question, quite simply, is yes. And quickly, it's getting unhygienic. Firstly, there's a woman in the box. Up to this side, I think it's coming from this side, a lady in one of the boxes, in her early 20s, 22. Your name might be Laura or Lara, something like that. And it's something with a car. I think you've got a car. It's quite a man sort of thing in your mind, but it's a car. I think it's a car or a gimmick, or a gadget of some sort. Say yes if you think this is you. Yes, great. Oh, it's up there. It's up that side, the other side. Can we get a microphone up in the box? When you get it, please say yes so I can hear you. So there's another lady up in the circle coming through. 46 or something, I think, something like that. Might be Claire. Can you call out if you think this might be you in the circle? Yes. Yes, can we get a microphone? Please stand up so the ushers can see you. Can we get a microphone to you?
Yes.
Oh, Laura, you got a microphone now?
Yes.
It is Laura, isn't it?
Yes.
Just say stop when I reach you, please.
Stop.
Aquarius.
Yes.
Born on a Saturday as well, but you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
And you've got something in your mind. I think it is a car of some sort. There's a car in your mind, yes?
Yes.
Okay, just focus on what it is for me, please. Let me just find Claire. Claire, please say stop when I get you.
Stop.
Gemini.
Yes, absolutely.
Another Saturday, did you know?
Yes, I did.
Please focus on this face. Something you've had in your mind. This is more ethereal. This won't be a car. I think this will be a dream. There's something with a dream. You've had a dream in your mind, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Focus on what this is. There's a man in the dream, yes?
Yes.
Just focus on who this man is, please. Somebody you dreamt... sorry, are you thinking about whether or not you should dye your hair at the moment?
Yes.
Yes. Could you put that out of your head, please? Just keep focusing on this... keep focusing on this dream. Keep focusing on this dream. It's a man in the dream. You dreamt, Claire, that you were married to this man, I think, yes?
Yes.
I could sort of see him dark, shortish, not a classic... over here, your favourite car, Claire, it would be an Aston Martin.
Yes.
And it would be a DB9.
Yes.
And you dreamt you were married to Alan Titchmarsh.
I did.
Yes, thank you both very much. Take a seat, go. Both of you take a seat. Someone over this side. Someone over this side. There's a woman who she thought maybe I mentioned her then because it just popped up, but not Kerry, Kelly. Yes, can we get a microphone, please, to that lady? Please stand up so they can see you. Get a microphone. When you get it, say yes, please. Can I get some water? On stage, please.
Hello.
Okay, you've got it. You've got the microphone. Say yes when I stop you, please. Simply say stop when I get you.
Stop.
Cancer.
Yes.
Sorry, I just should point out that's your star sign, yes?
Yes.
Okay, can I get some water, please, on stage? There was something... something in your mind you do for a living. Something you do for a living. Bookshop.
Yes.
You run a bookshop.
Yes.
You run your own bookshop. Have you had something about security in mind at the moment? This is not actually with the shop, this is at home, though. Something with security at the moment in your mind?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have. You need to be thinking about this. Let me come back to it, but there's something... you at home now, I'm seeing your home, there's a cat running around, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah? There's a cat, the name of the cat, you know the name of the cat? It's Black. Is it Black? It's Black, isn't it? But there's something, the name is, it's a bit of a mixture of different things, but begins with a B, yes? It's not Black, but it's something like Black in the name, yes? The name of your cat, Blakey, yes?
Yes, that's just weird,
can I get some water, please? You need to, whether or not, you're also thinking in your mind whether or not you're going to have any kids is going through your mind, yes?
Oh, crap,
yes?
yeah.
I just need you to keep focused on this for a second, though. There's something
really
you need,
weird.
there's something, there's security in your house, there's something you've been thinking about is security. You need to know. You lost your father recently, didn't you?
Yeah, very recently.
This is the front, this is your front door and two windows. You need to look at this front door and a couple of windows. It's like your front door, but not your front door, so it might be a flat door or something like that. You need to look at this. You've been thinking about it, but it's And that is how they'd finish their acts. And that's how I'm finishing mine. Thank you, and good night. Thank you. Oh, the box! Oh, we need to get the box down. Stop the music, please. Back on your seats, please. Stay on your seats. Stay on your seats. You need to get the music down. Oh, we need to get the box down. Stop the music. Thank you. Thank you. Need to get the... We need to get the box down. I need somebody to help me with the box. Now, it is the end of the show, so not just anybody. I will take the most psychic member of the audience. Not that you believe in it. I don't believe in it either, but you've had a couple of hours to become quite responsive to what I'm doing up here. So, I'll write a number between 1 and 100. Whoever gets closest to it, I'd like you to come down here. So, between 1 and 100. I'll do it behind my back so you guys can't see up there. Okay. Excuse my handwriting, it's clear enough though. Okay, so please listen to the numbers that people say, and if it's, make sure the number you say is nowhere close to a number that somebody else has said. But up there in the box, the chap there, could you give me a number between 1 and 100, please? Go on. 8. Thank you very much. No numbers anywhere near 8, please. Let's go, lady there on the end, between 1 and 100, yep.
20.
20. Thank you very much. Let's go right up at the top. So just on that side of the stairs. Call out, please. Back row, gone? 99. 99. Thank you very much. Actually, do you know what? You were pretty close down here. What did you say?
20.
20. What's your name?
Danielle.
Danielle, would you get yourself up here? Danielle is our psychic, a member of the audience. Up you come, Danielle. Whoops. Thank you, Danielle. Get yourself up here. Now, you didn't get it. Up you come for me. You didn't get it spot on. You didn't get it spot on. Just come over here for me. One more time in case they didn't hear. The number was?
20.
20. And if you open that up for us, you'll see you didn't get it spot on, but you were very close.
23.
Again, sorry?
23.
23. Off by 3. Not bad. I think that counts as genuinely psychic. Round of applause for Psychic Danielle. Psychic Danielle, ladies and gentlemen. How does it feel to be genuinely psychic?
Clever.
It's exciting, isn't it? Clever, thank you. If you take that for me, just take a step this way. I need you to give me a hand with this. Can we get the box down, please? Can we get the box down? Thank you. A bit more. Keep it coming. Thank you very much. This was guarded in the interval by Amanda, who was watching it with her friends. Amanda, are you happy that up, please, up? Nobody went anywhere near this during the interval, Amanda? Well, you and your friends were watching it, yes? Yes. Are you happy no one went anywhere near it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, let me give this to you. I need you to take this for me inside. It's a rolled up sheet of paper. Please don't unravel it. Just take it out and hang on to it, please. Thank you, Amanda and friends there. Thank you for guarding it. Now, let me explain what this is. Ever since I knew I was going to do the Oracle Act, and it took people 15, 20 years to learn that, I had 3 years to do it, I've been testing myself. And the way that I test myself is, now that I'm in a theatre, is I sit right the chap there with the T-shirt right there. I sat there about an hour before you came in with this big unraveled sheet of paper. And I kind of zone out a bit. I go into a slightly odd state, so I can't, to be honest, I can't remember everything that I wrote, but I start to free associate. And I write down things that I think will happen during the show that's about to happen that night. In other words, the show that you've just seen. And I write them down. When I'm done, I roll them up. I put them in a spaghetti jar. You don't need to know that. And it gets you can put in that box. And it was there, hanging as you came in front of the curtains, hanging there at the very start of the show. And then it's hoisted up, and it hangs there locked in front of the curtains for the entire duration of the show, in full view of all of you. There are 1,000 of you here. There's always one person keeping their eye on that box, and Amanda guarding it in the interval as well. So, now that that's out in the open, Danielle, your job is to make sure it isn't going to get tampered with now that it's out in the open. If you open it up a little bit, you'll see it says this way up. Can you see that? Just a little bit? Just there. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
So, you're going to hold it round here for me. You'll hold on to the end. I'll do the unravelling, so I'll take the rolled up. If you come over here for me. And at some point, Danielle, I will ask you to join me up this end, at which point somebody will just take this from you in the wings, and you can come and join me up the other end. Keep hold of it. Thank you. Okay. So... God, that was quite frightening. Thank you so much for that. It isn't about me this evening, it is about you, so let's talk about you. There are 1,366 of you in tonight. It's a large enough number for you to accurately represent a cross-section of my audiences at large, which means, according to the research I've done on you, and I have done the research on you, you should, as an audience, break down as follows. 89% of you in tonight will have watched at least half of the TV shows that I've made. The remaining 11% only have a vague idea of who I am. You've been dragged along as boyfriends and girlfriends. 72, and thank you for coming. Read my mind. 72% of you represent the typical Channel 4 viewer, which means you'll be, thank you, which means you'll be aged between 16 and 35, like to think of yourself as liberal-minded. You're skeptical of authority, a bit cynical of newspapers. People think of you as being quite extrovert, whereas you know you're more detached. You tend to observe. You're a people watcher. You pick up on things about people that other people miss. You have large DVD collections, including several still in their wrapper. And you're brighter, you have better taste than everyone else you know, and you download far too much internet porn. And of course, the degree... Of course, the degree to which you possess or don't possess these qualities make you more or less responsive to some of my techniques. So let's choose one of you at random, and we'll see how it goes from there. The first tour I did, I used to throw out a frisbee to choose people so you'd know that everyone that comes up is, randomly selected. And there are no stooges, I got an email genuinely from a woman whose daughter had been at the National Frisbee Throwing Championships of that year, was sure she'd see me there, learning my special frisbee aim, I suppose. As far as I know, there are no monkey chucking championships, so I will be chucking my monkey over you during the course of the evening. Third throw of the monkey. Whoever catches the monkey on the third throw, I'd like you to stand up for me. Here is throw number 1. Excellent. Anywhere else, please, for number 2? Throw it again. Throw it again for number 2. Not back at me. Excellent. One more throw. Anywhere you like, please. Throw it again. Excellent. Nicely done. Stand. Ooh, bit of a fight. Stand up for me, lady who caught it. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Danny.
Danny, do you wear a watch?
No.
Do you have any jewellery which comes off?
Yeah.
What have you got? A necklace, perfect, thank you. And you're not planning on leaving before the second half for any reason? Okay, Danny, I'm going to use you. Can you see right in the middle of the stage, there's a big white card with a large mysterious question mark on it. Danny, on the other side of that card, there's a picture of an animal. And I will ask you in a moment to name an animal. You will find yourself naming the animal that's pictured on the other side of the card. You see, I like to start the whole persuasion process before I come out on stage. And ideally before you even come into the theatre, because if you don't know I'm doing it, it makes you more susceptible to it. Danny, did you notice any cryptic images of animals outside of the bar where you come in, where they're handing out the brochures? Shit. That's all right. You're not supposed to notice. This is good. Now, this will affect you a little bit differently because you're stood up and everyone else is sat down. But I will ask you in a moment to name an animal. You can't not name the correct animal. It doesn't matter if you change your mind over and over again, because ultimately it'll be the animal that feels right to you will be the animal that matches. I realise this might sound barking mad, being so sure that this will work, but it will work. I won't give you any sort of lead. It will just kind of work itself. Not only on you, Danny, also on your chums that you're sat with there as well, if they're of the same pedigree. So, Danny, give it some thought. There's a good girl. And when you... it's not a dog. It's not a dog or a cat or a monkey. I wouldn't be that obvious. But it is a land animal. Okay? A land animal. So not a fish or a bird. All right? A land animal. A 4-footed animal. All right? So, yes or no. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. I won't be in a bad mood with you. So it's not a cow. So yes or no. Yes or no. Do you have an animal in your mind at the moment?
Yeah.
You do. Now, maybe you're thinking, oh, I've gone for one everyone thinks of. Everyone goes. You can change your mind. You can change your mind as many times as you like, all right? You don't have to, but if you want, this is when you can do it. So you know you have a chance to change your mind, all right? Do that if you want, or don't. Stick with it, I don't mind. And then tell me, yes or no, have you got one now?
Yeah.
All right, then nice and loud so they can hear you right up at the back of the balcony. What's the animal you're thinking of?
A mouse.
A mouse. Not as many of you are sat there thinking, an elephant, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, because this will affect you a little bit differently because you're sat down, she stood up. A mouse. Does that feel like a free choice to you?
Yeah.
It does. It doesn't just say on the monkey, be a good sport, please say mouse or anything else. It feels like a free choice, yeah? Danny's going to play quite an important part in tonight's show, so it's vital that you are all happy with the choice of Danny as a volunteer before we go any further. So if we just bring up the lights, we'll just turn and take a look at Danny for a second. And I realise as we do this, I'm sorry, those of you upstairs, you're not going to be able to see Danny. I apologise for that. Although if you had just paid a little bit more, you might have been able to join in at this point. Bearing in mind, Danny was chosen by the third throw of the monkey quite fairly. Even if you can't see her, would you put your hand up if you are happy with the choice of Danny as a volunteer, please? Hands up if you're happy with Danny. Okay, it feels nice, doesn't it? Okay, just to be fair, hands up if you are unhappy with Danny for any reason. Please don't put your own hand up at this point, Danny. All right, well, barring about 3 of you, that's an overwhelming vote in your favour, Danny. So why don't you leave the monkey where it is and head up here on stage as quickly as you can. Up you come, Danny. Run, Danny, run. Let Danny through. Run, Danny. Here she comes. Run, Danny, run. That's walking slowly. That's not even a saunter. Hello, Danny. Very nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Would you come and stand over there by the mic for me? Okay, now look, I'm not going to go anywhere near that bit of paper, the card. I don't want you thinking I'm going to change it. Equally, I don't want you looking on the other side yet. But, Danny, if you can just go and put your hand on the top of it, so when I tell you to, you can turn it around. Does that make sense? All right? So on the count of 3, I want you to turn it right the way around like that, so you can step back and it leans the other way against the table and they can all see what it is. Does that make sense? On the count of 3, here we go. 1, a mouse, remember? 2, 3. Turn it round. A mouse, ladies and gentlemen. Now, clearly, yes, clearly Danny has some kind of gift. Yeah, you call that psychic or you call that intuition. You are the judges, ladies and gentlemen. That is a mouse. No. That is a baby mouse with a little Tits. I don't know what it is. It's not why you're up here, Danny. Come take a step back. It's not why you're up here. Okay, you're actually up here because of this briefcase on the table, all right? I'm going to give you this briefcase for the duration of the show, Danny. Your job is to bring the briefcase back in one piece at the end of the show, all right? Now, hang on. Hang on. There's a chain on top of the case, and hanging from the chain, you might not be able to see at the back, is a padlock. You can see that from here, yep? If you look that way. Yes. Your job during the interval is to try and work out the combination on the lock. All right? So look, you can have a look at it so you can see it clearly. It's a combination lock. So look, very simple. You get a number in your head, you turn it to that number. All right? So you get a 14 in your head, you turn it to 14, yeah, or whatever the number is. And you'll need 3 of those numbers to open the lock. All right? So not a challenge to force it open, but I would like you to try and work it out. So if you grab the case for me, that's for you. Thank you. Also, it's just sat in an envelope. Can you grab the envelope too? And bring both of them over here to the microphone. Put the case down for a second, and you mentioned you wore a necklace, so can I just take that off you, or can you take it off easily? Okay. Bear with us. Thank you so much. Easy as that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's very nice. It's a very nice, it's Elizabeth Duke, I think. Okay. I will give you the necklace back when I get the case back from you in one piece at the end of the show, Danny. All right? I realise that... Stay there! I realise it probably sounds a little untrusting. It is, frankly. I have toured with the show for 2 years, and ever since doing this in Newcastle, I can't be too careful. So I will hand the necklace to my trusty roadie, Stephen, who will look after it for the duration of the show. Thank you, Stephen. If you can come back to the mic for me. To the mic, thank you. Put the case down for a second. Now, before you go back, I'd like you to open up the black envelope for me. Inside is a folded sheet of paper. You need to open it up, and nice and clearly, you don't want to unfold it, but just read out what it says on the outside into the mic. Nice and clearly. Out loud, please.
I promise to look after the case and not to get drunk in the interval and leave it in the toilets. I take full responsibility for a rubbish ending to the show if I lose it. And I'm sorry, I laughed at your drawing.
Hang on.
I can see it was a...
I could see it was A. And the animal you said was a...
mouse.
And I can tell you this, you didn't change your mind, did you?
No.
You stuck with it. Open it up. What does it say?
A mouse.
Show them. Show them. A mouse. Ladies and gentlemen, a mouse it was. Danny, thank you so much. I will see you at the end of the show. Look, grab the case. I'll see you right at the end. Danny, everybody. Excellently done. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for coming out tonight. This is the last night I'm ever going to do this show. Thank you for coming to it. Thank you for packing the place out. Although you probably heard it won the Olivier Award for Best Entertainment this year. That's probably why you came. It doesn't mean anything. It just means if you don't like the show, you're wrong. So something I'd like you all to do for me. You can all think of, male, the surname of the first person you had a crush on when you were young. Think of the surname of the first person you fancied when you were little. Think of the surname of the first person you fancied when you were little. Everybody doing it. Surname of the first person you fancied when you were little. Going to choose 5 of you at random to come up here as quickly as you can. We're going to do that by throwing the monkey, and the first person I want to come from the dress circle. So if we bring up the house lights, whoever's got the monkey should be somewhere around Danny. Right, sir, stand up. We want to get it up into the dress circle. Go on, go on. Excellent, well done. Oh. Nicely done, okay. Sir, okay, stand up for us. Stand up. Okay, now you're the first person. You are number 1 of 5, all right? Going to choose 4 more of you from downstairs, which will give you time to get down here while we're choosing the others. So in a moment, you're going to throw the monkey down here. When you catch the monkey, this is what you do. You need to get up here as quickly as you can, but you also need to throw the monkey again to choose the next person, all right? So if you catch it, you need to head up here, but throw the monkey again. Do you want to throw it down here for the next person, sir? Excellent, here it comes. Somebody catch that. Stand up, throw it again. You head down here as quick as you can, sir. Stand up for me, throw it, head up here yourself. Thank you. Thank you, quick as you can. And stand up for me. Stand up, throw it again. Excellent, nicely done. Stand up for me, come up here and throw the monkey again for me. Give it a good throw. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, you're the 5th person. Head up, you come. Quick as you can, give them a big hand. Thank you very much. Sorry, what's your name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte, I need to put you over here, Charlotte. You can stand right. No. Just there for me would be great. Thank you, Charlotte. And you are? Philippa. Philippa, stand right in the middle for me. That'll be lovely. Hello. Hello, what's your name?
Tony.
Tony, we'll put you over here. Tony, if you can stand just sort of about there for me, Tony, that'll be great. Hello, you are?
John.
John, good to meet you, John. If I can put you just there for me, John, thank you. And you are? Hello.
Gary.
Gary, good to meet you. Thanks for coming down. If you can just stand there for me. Good. Okay, if you can try and sort of line your toes up a little bit, just so my whole obsessive-compulsive neatness thing can relax. Otherwise, I have got to make you walk up again 3 times in a row. while I make weird humming noises in my throat. So let me explain what I want you to do. You're each going to take a ball out of the bag. I have 5 balls in here. That is 1 each, all right? You'll take one out, but don't look at it. And don't let me see it, all right? Just take it out, put your hand straight behind your back, okay? So off you go. What was your name again? Tony. Tony. Thank you, Tony. And Gary, was it? Gary. Thank you, Gary. And your name was? Philippa. Philippa. Thank you, Philippa. Have a good rummage around. Thank you. John, take the... Was it Dan? John. John. Sorry, John, if you take it for me. And then you can pass it to... No, take it for me, John. What was your name at the end? Charlotte. Charlotte. Charlotte, will you make sure you're taking the last ball? Otherwise, somebody hasn't taken one. And just throw the bag off into the side. You can chuck it off there. All right, thank you. 4 of you will have a white ball. 1 of you will have a black ball because that's what was in the bag. All right, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to have a look and see what you've got. If you are the one person with a black ball, you might be tempted to give yourself away a bit by smirking or laughing or fainting or something. Don't, all right? Keep an absolute poker face. So for now, I'm just going to look over here. Just bring out your hands like this, but keep the ball contained, concealed in your hands. All right, and while I look over here, please just prise apart your thumbs just enough to take a quick private peek at your ball. Very weird when I say that. Teetering on smut. When you've done that, please put your hands back behind your back. Thank you very much indeed. In fact, if you've got a back pocket, can you put the ball in your back pocket? If you don't have a back pocket, improvise. Okay, that's for you, Tony, thank you. You're all off the hook now, but you will have in your minds the surname of the first person you had a crush on, yes? I'm going to get you to write down that name for me. Now, like the word mouse, you need to write nice and large and clear, so if we do need to show it around, people can read it. So large, clear, block capital letters, all right? Just the surname. When you've written it, you tear the paper off, please. And just tear straight off, just fold it up, put it in your pocket, get everything out the way. That's really important, all right? While you're doing that, I shall explain the rules of the game to you, but I need to do this while I'm not looking at you, all right? So please make sure you're listening. 1 at a time, you're going to come up to the microphone, you're going to tell me your name and what you do for a living, and please be honest about that, all right? Then and only then I will ask you a test question. Now, when I ask you the test question, if you're one of the people with a white ball, you must lie in response to the test question. All right? So a white ball is a white lie. Please remember that, guys. If you're the one person with a black ball, though, you always tell the truth. And my task is to work out which one of you is the truth teller, which one of you has the black ball. And all the people I think are lying, I will send back to their seats. Is that all the writing done? Yes? Yeah. All done? Great. Okay, so then let's start with you, Tony. Why don't you come forward for us? Thank you, Tony. So remember, starting off being absolutely honest. Your name, please, and what you do for a living.
My name's Tony. And I'm a house husband, housewife, whatever.
A house husband or indeed housewife. Okay. Okay, thank you, Tony. Now, you understand the game. I'm about to ask you your test question now. If you've got a white ball, you're going to lie. Black ball, you're going to tell the truth. Bear in mind the chances are pretty high that Tony is going to lie at this point. It's only a 1 in 5 chance that Tony would be telling the truth. So we can almost guarantee you're probably going to tell a big fat lie at this point. So face the front, absolute poker face. You also might want to bear in mind, Tony, that because of the sorts of... Keep facing the front for me. Because of the sorts of unconscious behaviours that we unconsciously choose daily, male subjects tend to give themselves a little bit more away than female subjects, right? But don't let that put you off. Don't let any of this put you off. Otherwise, you'll be even less convincing, all right? So keep facing the front for me. If any of you are so convincing that I believe you, £50. If you lie so convincingly that I think you're telling the truth. 50, it's a lot of money to those people up at the back there. Right? £50 if you lie so convincingly that I believe you. All right, so here we go with your test question. Face the front for me, Tony. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2. Can we get a little bit more light on Tony, please? Just a little bit more light. Thank you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. What's your mother's maiden name?
Haggerty.
Just to reiterate to the rest of you, your task is to lie as convincingly as you can. It wasn't bad. There was just a very strange pause there. Don't believe a word of it. I'm going to take your white ball off you, send you back to your seat, Tony. There you go. 1 down. Thank you, Tony. Nicely done, though. Not bad at all. I'll let you head back. Not bad at all. That was unfair. That was unfair. I didn't give him any time to think of a better answer, and understandably, he flummoxed. You guys have an advantage. I will ask you the same question. I will ask you the same question, your mother's maiden name. Even now, you can be thinking up a nice, convincing answer, all right? As a tip, come out with the name of someone else you know. That's often more convincing than trying to make up a name, all right? But we'll see how it goes. Let's go with Charlotte. Come forward. If you can just stand there for me. Into the microphone. Your name and what you do for a living?
My name's Charlotte and I work for London Ambulance Service.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
I work for London Ambulance.
London Ambulance Service. Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. So, Charlotte, you understand the game. What is your mother's maiden name?
Haylock.
Okay. Very open, relaxed, innocent. Keep you back in line for the moment. Very good. Maybe too relaxed and innocent. That's the only thing. Like, you know, normally when people are put on the spot, they do tend to act a little bit guilty. That's, you know, like if the police knock on your door and you haven't done anything, but you act like you've murdered somebody because they are stood right there. You know, if the police knock on your door because, you know, the girl had said she was older than she was when you were on tour, or whatever that is for you. Let's go with Gary. Do you want to come forward for us? So, your name and what you do for a living, please be honest.
My name's Gary, and I work in IT.
Very good, thank you, Gary. And I'm going to ask you the same question, so here we go. Your mother's maiden name, please.
Johnson.
Okay, spoke about being too innocent here. The opposite's also true. Very difficult not to blush if you know you've been caught out in a lie. That's a very common response because lying has a terrible stigma attached to it in our culture. We use words like, you dirty liar. No, you filthy liar. You dirty, filthy, stinking liar. We use words like that. Very difficult not to blush. If you know you've been caught out, you know what blushing is. It's just blood that kind of rises up through the collar line. You get that sort of warmth across your forehead and across your cheeks too. And there you go. Lovely shade of beetroot. I'm going to take your little white ball off you. Send your big red face back to your seat, Gary. Excellent. Nicely done, though. Thank you very much indeed. All right, so let's go with John. Would you want to come forward for us? Thank you, John. And into the microphone, please. Your mother's maiden name is?
Smith.
Okay, I'm going to keep you. Back in line, please. Philippa, you're last. If you can come forward for me, too. Oh, it's what I call the walk of shame. Did you see it? It's this kind of... Okay. It's that sort of... It's the walk of somebody who doesn't want to walk forward. It is the walk of a woman burdened by her own guilt. A woman on her way to the gallows. I won't even ask you to say a word. I'm going to take your white ball off you, send you back to your seat, Philippa. There we go. One down. Thank you, Philippa. So it's one of you two. Would you both come forward for me? Both of you come forward for me, please. Okay, stand. If you can just stand and face each other sort of about there, that'll be great. Lovely. All right, so look, one of you two is the final liar, one of you two is the truth teller. All right? For this last round, I won't ask you your mother's maiden name, I will ask you the surname of the first person you had a crush on when you were young, all right? However, for this last round, you only answer in your head. You say nothing out loud, all right? You only answer in your head. Same rules applies. If you've got the white ball, you're going to lie. You're going to think a lie. Black ball, you're going to think the real name, but you only do it in your head. You say nothing out loud. Is that clear? Yep. Okay, both of you turn and face the front for me. Thank you. In your mind then, not out loud, think of the surname of the first person you had a crush on. Do that for me now. And as you're doing this, what we're looking for, they're called micro signals. Tiny flickers of guilt. Oh, nicely done. Thank you. Keep facing the front. Don't look. I'll tell you what I think. I think our truth teller is on this side. A lot of you are going to have this round the other way. I think this is our truth teller here. I think our final liar is here. All right? Truth teller here, final lie here. If I'm wrong, all right, it's this person who gets the £50 because this is the person, it's difficult. Well, £40. We'll say £40. If I'm wrong, because this is the person I think is telling the truth on this side. I love this game. Let's find out. Can you both of all just get the ball ready first behind your back? Just make sure you're holding on to it. Don't let anybody see. Hold on to it behind your back. Done? Done? Yes? Okay. All right, for £30, will the truth teller please place her or his black ball into my hand? Yes, excellent. Thank you so very much. Stay right there. Which means you've got the last white ball, is that right? Thank you very much, John. I'll ask you to go and sit down again, but thank you very much indeed. Now, you're all intelligent people. You know that these skills are not psychic. And if you watch the TV shows, you'll know my skill base is magic, suggestion, psychology, misdirection, and showmanship. And as part of that, I kind of give myself permission to be a bit dishonest with you sometimes if I think it heightens the effect, but I'm always honest about my dishonesty. Yeah? Unlike the psychic industry, which is occasionally well-meaning, but always based on dishonesty. And big business too. There are some brochures outside in the foyer, things that are kind of going on around London. There are some fantastically expensive courses you can go on if you want to learn psychic powers. And if you choose page £1,400 a week to learn rubbish, then that's up to you, but there are some brochures out in the foyer. And Charlotte, was it? Thank you so much for coming up. Look at me now and just sleep. Just sink right the way down, right the way deep, right the way sound asleep. Just drifting and sinking and floating. Take all the time you need to do this. Right the way deep and right the way sound asleep. Now, you can still hear and understand everything that I'm saying. That's really important. But this will allow you to do this perfectly. What I want you to do in your mind, Charlotte, nothing out loud, is first of all to picture that person, that first person you had a crush on. And as you picture him stood there, I want you in your mind just to begin to repeat that name to yourself over and over again. In your mind, please, nothing out loud. Nothing out loud, just repeating the name to yourself over and over again. And as you do that, as you whisper the name to yourself, not moving a muscle, I want you to begin to move the picture in a little bit closer to you, so it's a little more clear, that you can really look at the picture and see it really clearly in front of you. Good. And just saying it to yourself over and over again, saying the name, and each time that you whisper it, just getting a little bit clearer, a little louder in your mind, but with a nice warm sense of a whisper. Okay, stay. You're doing absolutely great for me, Charlotte. Stay right there for me. Let me show you the rest of you. I'm sort of going to half guess this because I'm not sure. So it probably won't be this exactly, all right? So it's a bit of a guess. But it'll be something like that. It's a bit difficult because there's only the one plosive at the beginning, which doesn't really help. But it'll be something like this. If it's not this exactly, it'll be something similar. I hope you can all see that. Okay. So Charlotte, you take all the time you need, please, just to slowly reorientate yourself back to the room and take all the time you need to come back to us. Okay? It's weird, isn't it? You all right? Okay, nice and honest. Please, honestly, into the mic. The name of the first person you had a crush on.
Price.
Thank you so much. Brilliantly done. Thank you. I'll let you head back. Charlotte, everybody. Thank you, Charlotte. Excellently done, Charlotte. Thank you. Where is Danny? Danny with a case. Where are you, Danny? Danny with a case. Danny, you've got 20 minutes to work out the combination on that lock. And even if you can't do that, please at least try different numbers. All right? Different numbers. Pull at the lock so you know it's a real lock. All right? I'll tell you this, Danny. By now, you know what the combination is on that lock. You just don't know that you know. But you've got 20 minutes to do that. The rest of you have 20 minutes to go get a drink. I will see you back here for the second half. Thank you. Check that it's solid and sharp on the end. Yeah, thank you. control of the end. Now you don't pull, you just hold it tight, all right? Don't move. Try and keep your hand really still. Nice and tight, don't move. Don't let go. Still, nice and tight. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers. Thank you, Kat. I did that on television a couple of years ago, and I got a lot of people. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry. eBay, obviously. A lot of people asking me why I did it. You know, do you hammer daily a number 14 male into your head? And no, I don't. But the reasons for doing it led to the formation of the second half of this show, which is kind of the use of the techniques on myself. And I do use them on myself for physical reasons. And there are one or two things I'm going to do in this half that Channel 4 won't let me do on television without putting a warning up on the screen. But I am allowed to do them in the theatre. Okay, I'm going to try and get this up in the dress circle. When you get it, will you throw it back for me? Not back down here, but back up in the dress circle to somebody else, all right? Here it comes. Right, throw it up there again, not down here, just back up to somebody else up there, please. And I'm going to take the nearest guy, wherever it lands. Nearest guy, would you stand up for me, please? What's your name? Stephen. Stephen, what are you wearing on your feet? Boots. Boots, fantastic. Please leave the monkey where it is. Stephen, head down here as quickly as you can. Stephen, everybody, thank you very much. And from downstairs, I need a lady. A lady who is medically trained. A lady who is medically trained. So would you stand up for me? Just if you're medically trained, would you stand up for me? What's your name, lady in the front? Ruth, what do you do, Ruth? Physiotherapist. Physiotherapist, thank you. Stay right there for me, lady behind me. What's your name? Amy. Amy, what do you do, Amy?
Cabin crew.
Cabin crew. Ruth, I think I will go with you, Ruth, if that's all right. So, Ruth, could you head up here? A round of applause for Ruth. Thank you very much indeed. Ruth and Stephen. Stephen, thank you so much. Thank you for coming down. I appreciate it. Thank you. Stay right there for me. Thank you so much. Would you both follow me around the back here, please? Thank you. And if you can stand there for me, Stephen, just turn and face that way. That's great, Stephen. Ruth, you can come around here, please. Mind the hammer, mind the cable. Just stand there for me and face out that way for me too. That's great. Pain is very subjective. It's a subjective thing. Like when you're young and you tear around Influential and you cut yourself. And you don't realise that you're cut until you look down and you see the blood, and then suddenly it starts to hurt. Or when you're in the bath and you've got your feet stuck out and there's hot water dripping on your toe and you don't know it's the hot tap, you think it's the cold tap. Suddenly when you look down and see it's the hot tap, suddenly it's scalding hot. Pain is very subjective. Okay, we're going to break some more glass. Ruth and Stephen, I need you to check these are real bottles. Would you please do that for me? When you're happy that's real glass and real bottles, you can just place them, stand them on the floor in front of you. When you've done that, I'd like you to put these goggles on for me. And then I'd like you to place the gloves on for me too. It's just red wine stains on that, Stephen, you'll be fine. Okay, you're right-handed, aren't you? So if you can crouch down for me, Ruth, and with your left hand, I'd like you to take hold of the neck of the bottle through the towel. So like that, thank you. You're right-handed as well, if you can crouch down for me. Same thing. Left hand around the neck of the bottle, like that for me. Thank you, Stephen. All right. There's the hammer, Ruth. I need you to bring it down, break the bottle into small pieces. You have to go really hard, right in the middle. Go. That's fantastic. Want to give it one more, or are you happy with that? Are you going to stand up for me? Stephen, there you go. Nice and hard, please. Fantastic. Stand up for me too, Stephen. Thank you. Okay. Now this is all a bit pointless if you think I'm using fake glass, and you'd be forgiven for that because this is often done with fake glass. So I'm going to ask you both, starting with you, Ruth, if you can just step forward, Ruth, onto the tarpaulin for me. Now please don't kneel, but if you can just crouch down and pick up a couple of pieces of glass. You're the eyes of the audience here. Have a look at them for me. Is it real glass?
Yes.
And the edges haven't been rounded down or anything like that?
No.
And sharp edges too, yes? You
Yeah.
happy with this?
Yeah.
All right, do you want to just place them back in the pile for me? Thank you so much. If you can just drop the, place the gloves and goggles back in that bucket nearest you, that'd be great. Stephen, if you're happy to, I'd love you to take these gloves off and pick up a piece in your bare hands so people know that it really is real, all right? But you'll be careful, yes? Thank you. So just a single piece or a couple of pieces. Okay, is that real glass?
Yeah.
All right, are you happy this is real? Do you want to keep checking, or are you happy? Please be careful.
Yeah, I'm happy.
You're happy? Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Great, thank you. Take the goggles off now. I'll take them back from you, Stephen. Thank you. Thank you. See, there are tools and techniques that I've taken on board and made part of who I am, which go back through a tradition of performers who had their heyday in the 1930s. And these are very diverse people. These are vaudevillians and fakirs. And there was one man around that time who went under the name of the Great Prestoni. That was the name that he used. And what Prestoni did, no one has done since him. Prestoni was able to cut off the oxygen to his brain. And it allowed him to achieve two things. First of all, he could be cut, and he wouldn't bleed because it affected the flow of blood throughout his whole body. And secondly, he could withstand massive amounts of pain in relative comfort. And Prestoni was one of a tiny handful of people in history that have done this using real glass. And I became obsessed with this man. I studied everything I could to do them. I spent time with his two daughters that he taught his act to, and they taught it to me. And for me, it's an honor, genuinely, to be able to perform this in such a prestigious theatre. Prestoni died a drug addict and an alcoholic. Because that state that he put himself into, it's called cerebral anoxia. It's a lack of oxygen to the brain. It's incredibly addictive. And I shouldn't say this, when you come out of it, it's euphoric. Then that can lead to an addictive personality, which is ultimately why Prestoni died in the way that he did. Ruth, would you come round here for me? Come round this side. Ruth, this is not the nicest job in the world, but I need you to check my feet, all right? I need you to check that there's no special skin or anything attached to them. I'm sorry, it's very warm.
No,
up
just
here.
nice, sweaty feet.
Thank you, yeah, I apologise for that. But nothing attached, the skin hasn't been toughened or anything like that?
No, it's quite soft.
Thank you, thank you. Would you come and check the other one? I think you'll find this one even softer.
That's
Real feet?
beautiful.
Thank you. Let's do with that. Real feet. Happy?
Real feet, yeah.
Great. Could you come back round here for me? I'm going to ask you to take that drumstick just out of the bag there for me. I'll let you do that. Actually, first of all, I'm going to ask you to take my pulse. If you take the pulse with your right hand here, and then with your left hand to tap out the pulse that you feel on the end of the mic with the drumstick. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, fairly comfortable with that? Yeah. Does it seem a little fast or quite relaxed?
No,
or?
quite regular.
Quite regular, great, okay. So in order to do this and to put myself into the state that Prestoni would, I'm going to put a plastic bag over my head. Would you take the bag off for me, Ruth? So look, I'm not going to suffocate, thank you, because I'll be holding onto the bag, all right? So if I did pass out, air would come up into the bag and I'd be fine, all right? So if you were just as a nurse or as a physiotherapist, please resist the urge to pull the bag back off my head. As we do this, I want you to carry on taking my pulse, all right?
Yeah.
Now the point is the pulse should change. It's really important that you accurately reflect on that, what you feel in my arm, all right? Can you feel anything? down on the mic. Wait till you feel it kicking. Get ready. Yeah? Yeah? Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Ruth. Let me take that from me. Ruth, everybody. Ruth and Stephen, thank you very much. I'd like to ask you to go back that way from me. Stephen, everybody. Thank you. Oh, your feet hurt, but you do kind of feel all buzzy. It's all kind of, for me, about you facing the fear of pain, if you like. Oh, excuse me. And the flip side of it is using pain. And this kind of goes back to when I was at school. Can I get a lady up here? Can we throw the monkey from wherever it is, from down up there, I think, and I'll just choose the nearest lady? You throw it down for me, nearest lady, wherever it lands. Just give it a good throw, any way you like. Great, thank you. Nearest lady. I think that's going to be you. Would you leave the monkey? Oh, no, you bring the monkey with you. Would you head up for me? Thank you so much. Excellent. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Hello. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you. Just come over here for me. Thank you. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris. You're not a therapist, are you?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Lucky guess. Chris, show me your hands first of all. Okay. No. Perfect. Lovely. Chris, were you picked on a bit when you were a kid at school?
No.
No. Okay. I was. And there was a kid called John, who wasn't very nice, and he used to tip all my bags up in the corridor, Chris, and then when I'd bend down and pick the stuff up, he'd give me a good kicking. And this used to go on regularly, and this was primary school, and I was quite young. And I didn't cry about it, Chris. What I did to distract myself from what was going on is I would count the things that fell out of my bag, you know? So if it was pencil shavings, literally, I'd count them, I'd add them up. Or if a book fell open, I'd count the words on the page to distract me from what was going on. And it meant, as an adult, Chris, that I've kind of learned to associate the ability to make quite rapid calculations in my head with the experience of pain. Come with me. Over here for me. You're right-handed, aren't you? So if you hold that in your left hand for me, I'm going to ask you, with your right hand here, there's a bowl of buttons on the table. There's about 100 or something in there. You're going to reach in with your right hand, take handfuls of buttons, and place them on the tray in your left. Okay, please make sure they don't go on the table or the floor, because they fall off on this stage and I'll trip up and so on. Don't do it yet. You're going to wait till I'm looking the other way. Don't take them all, but I do want a lot of buttons on there. All right, I'd leave some there, but several handfuls. You do that for me now, Chris? I'm not looking. Just do mine where they go. Done? Can you cover the tray up for me? Is that it? You happy? Could you cover the tray up for me with those? Thank you. And can you cover up the bowl with this black cloth, please, just so I can't see how many are left. But do keep hold of the tray, and if you can bring the tray and come and stand behind me here, and hold it as you were, so with your left hand by the side of the tray, but underneath the cloth. But underneath the cloth. That's great, perfect. In a moment, I'll ask you to pull the cloth off, so you'll need to... It's fiddly, isn't it? Okay, thank you. Good. All right, now slap me. But really hard, really hard. Go on. It's not hard. Go on, really hard. Go on, really hard. Go on. Oh! Cloth off! Take the cloth off, quick! Quick! Off! Take the cloth, I've lost it. 63. I'm going to say 63. On the table. Put the tray on the table for me. 63 buttons. Take a seat. Okay. You're going to move them all down this end for me, and you're going to count them two at a time towards you. Do take your time with this so you can do it accurately. 2, thank you, 4, out loud. 6, 8,
10,
12, take your time. 14, 16, 18. Hang on, pause a second. I'm going to say, sorry, I wore off. I'm going to add a few. I'm going to say 66. 66. All right, forgive me. Was that 18?
18.
So 20. Okay. 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Count with me, please. 34, 36, 38, 40. Okay, go on. 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Okay, pause for a second. The number is 66. Give me one either way, but I'm going to go with 66. Go. 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. Now one at a time for me, please. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Spot on. 66 buttons. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris, everybody. Thank you, Chris. Actually, Chris, come back. Chris, come back, Chris. Come back. So I want to try that again, because I felt I didn't get the number straight out. Let me try that again. You do exactly the same thing. You were great. I'm going to try it a little bit differently. It'll make it more difficult, but let me try this a different way. So several handfuls. Off you go. Just like before, thank you. Done? Yep. Okay, cover it up for me, same thing. Thank you. And then cover the bowl up as well. Come and stand back here again. Excellent, all right. Okay. Same thing, except this time what I want to do is I want to count them while they're moving, all right? So what you need to do is you need to start the tray moving, ideally before you even pull the cloth off, because I will start the fraction of a second I see the buttons. So please make sure they're moving around. Jiggle the tray around. Are you ready? Slap me again. Go on.
That's what I don't like.
No, I know. Go on. One more. Up a bit. Oh! Take the cloth off. Cloth off. Keep them moving. Take the cloth off. Take the cloth off. Keep them moving. Keep them moving. 76. It might be 77. I'll say 76. On the table. On the table. I'll say 76. Move them all up this end. Same thing, please. Two at a time. Just to start them right up this end for me, Chris. Otherwise, it'll be more difficult to tell. Okay, 2, 4, 6,
8,
10. Yeah.
12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22,
Yep.
24,
26,
28,
30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Just pause a second and just move those right down there. 76, 77, I'll say 76. I'll go 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70. One at a time. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76. With them moving! With them moving! Chris, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Can I just say, that was a punch. That was a fucking punch, that last one. She's so done that before. Okay. Going to show you something now, and it's the end of the show. But it's kind of, for me, it's the most interesting thing, because you will do this yourself now. You will do this. I don't do this. You do it. And you can't not get it right. You have to do this right. Because if you've watched and listened over the last couple of hours, hour and a half, you will get this. I'll show you. It's this. It's this. It's an envelope. I'm going to put it here. It's a prediction, if you like, a prediction of the future, of decisions that you're going to make, which will lead to what's in that envelope. And you can't not make those decisions. You can't not make decisions that will lead to what's in there. It's inevitable. What's in there is inevitable. Ish. Okay. I'm going to throw these out. These are heavier than you think, so if one comes at you, please catch it, all right? Don't sit there going, no, I won't, because it will just, they are heavy. These are today's papers. Today's papers, you grab them for me there. Thank you. It's the Times. Let's go over there. Somebody catch for me. Sorry. Daily Mail over there. Thank you very much. Okay. Daily Mail. Oh, we've had the Daily Mail. I'm sorry. Independent. Let's get one up there. Catch for me. Thank you. Got another Independent. There are a couple of duplicates. So somebody catch this up there. Ready? Oh, heavy, heavy. You all right? You okay? Count the buttons. Have a go. Just go and get it. Whose phone's that? Whose phone was that? Don't answer it. It's really bad news. The Sun. Great, thank you. Let's get another one up there. This is the Mirror, Daily Mirror. Somebody catch? Will you throw that one back again for me so somebody else gets it? Try and get that one round towards the middle there, all right? Telegraph over there, downstairs. Somebody catch for me, please. And can we move that one that way a little bit? Just trying to spread them all out. And the Guardian, you have the one over there if you like. And the Evening Standard. All right, spread this one out. I'll move it. It won't go as far. Will you throw it over that way, please, so they all spread out? That is 10 of today's papers. Now we need Danny. Danny with the case. Do you want your necklace back, Danny? Where are you? Where are you, Danny? Bring the case up. Head up here quick as you can. Keep it going for Danny. Come on, Danny, run. Let's keep it going for Danny. Danny, thank you so much. Please check your necklace is okay. What paper do you read, by the way? What do you read? What? Okay, let me just get rid of that. Sorry, let me chuck that down there. Any of you, sorry, is that all right? Do you want to put it in your pocket for now? Rather than put, yeah, great. Come and stand over here for me. Okay, if any of you have got the papers that match the papers you read at home or anything, just please take them home with you so you can check at the end, that they are real papers, which they are. It'll give you a chance to check that. Okay, so you tried lots of different numbers on here? Yeah, any luck at all?
No.
No. Did you try your birthday?
No.
No, sometimes people do. Okay, but you've tried lots of different numbers and... Okay, all right, good. Good. Okay, so we need to get this open. So, could you, if you've got a paper in your hand, I'd like you just to hold it up in the air for me and just wave it in the air. Leave the band on it, but move it around, please. Keep it waving. Will you please choose someone who's got their hand up?
Over there in the green.
Lady in the green, would you stand up for me for a second? Thank you so much. Ready, we can put your papers down. Okay, your name, please.
Kirsty.
Kirsty, thank you. And the paper you've got is?
The Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail. Thank you so much. Are you happy to do this with Kirsty?
Yep.
Yep, happy to do it with the Daily Mail?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, and if you are, because all these things we can change as you go along, all right? You need to know these are your decisions that you can change. Great. So, Kirsty, for now, I'll ask you to sit back down, and the rest of you, take your papers, please, home with you. Kirsty will come back to you in a second. All right, so look, if I asked you, turn and face me, if I asked you what the combination was in that lock, you'd have to say you didn't know.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that you could know, all right? But part of that is you thinking it's impossible, because it sounds impossible, but, you know, there's only 3 numbers you've got to get. You know which number's between 0 and 39, because you'll have worked that out.
Yeah.
So if I told you that you did know what the numbers were, all right, and instead of you going, oh, I don't know what they are, just to think, yes, I do know what they are. Like you're playing a game where you're pretending to be psychic and thinking, yes, I know what the numbers are. Does that make sense? So you think it's easy. It's an easy thing to know. So if I told you you knew the first number in the combination, what is that? What's the first number? Say it.
1.
You think it's 1. Then turn it to 1. Turn it to 1. Excellent. Come back to me. All right. So you've had 1 as the first number in the combination. So now we've got the next number in the combination, all right? So again, just believing that you know it. Don't think, oh, you're just thinking, yes, I do know it, all right? So what's the next number in the combination that will open the padlock? What is it? Between 0 and 39. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3, all right? So what's the next number in the combination? Look at me.
24.
24. Very good. Turn it to 24. Excellent. Very good. These numbers just popping into your head, yes? Yep. Okay, so we've had 1 and we've had 24. Now, what's the last number going to be, look at me, in the combination which opens the padlock? What's the last number?
15.
Say?
15.
15. No, but you're slightly questioning it. You want to change one of those 2 digits. You're going to change the 1 or the 5?
The 5.
The 5. Great. And what are you going to change it for?
3.
3. So the final number is?
13.
13. Turn it to 13 for me. And pull.
Down.
Nicely done, Danny. Nicely done. Well done. Take the chain off for me, Danny. Take the chain off, just on the floor. Right, put the case down on the table. And I want you to just press in the little white buttons there, and then you better lift the top half up. Do that for me. Great. Yeah, you can just lift. That's great. What's inside? What is that?
I hope it's not a mouse.
No, what is it?
It's box.
Another case. Take it out for me. There are 14 of these. Bear with us. Take it out for me. Take it out. Okay, now look, the important thing is inside this, all right? Because I did this because I thought you might sneak a look in the side of that or crowbar it open. So the important thing's inside the case, inside the case. We will come back to that in a little bit. All right, you chose a paper which was the Daily Mail, okay? And you didn't want to change your mind, so we're going, it was Kirsty, isn't it? So Kirsty, we need to choose a page from the Mail. You are a little bit far away, so can I just grab a paper from the front there? Is that one of mine or one of yours? Is that one of mine? This is today's paper. Can you just verify into the mic there, please, that is today's date, yes?
Yep.
Well, if any of you get the Times, you'll recognise it. Britain vows to imprison the tyrants of Africa. You'll recognise that if you get the Times. Now, these headlines are written to influence us. The way we think about the article, the way we read the issue, even the way we vote sometimes, all right? And similarly with advertising slogans, not like that. It affects the way we think about the product, the way we spend our money. I'm going to read you a bunch of headlines or advertising slogans. Your job, Danny, is to stop me any way you like while I'm reading one out. Whatever page we're on, that is the page we'll go with. But not in this, we'll go with it in the Mail over there with Kirsty. All right, does that make sense? So when you do say stop, you need to say stop really clearly into the mic. Okay? And don't say it before I read something out. You can either say it while I'm reading one or just afterwards. Does that make sense? Okay. Trying to avoid anything Miracle patient gets in the saddle. Gypsy moth rescued from South Sea Reef. Sweetener is not a cancer risk.
Stop.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sure? Want me to carry on? And carry on if you like. You happy with that page?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. There we are. Sweetener is not a cancer risk. Into the mic, please. The page is page?
14.
Page 14. You happy with 14?
Yeah.
Only if you are. Then 14 we'll go with. So, Kirsty, if you stand up for me, you want to pull out page 14 from the Daily Mail. So if you drop everything else, so you're just holding on to the corner of page 14, just literally drop everything else on the floor. You'll probably find it comes out with another page attached to it. That's fine. Great, it does. Do me a favour, tear it down the middle for me, just so you've got 2 separate pages. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can sort of try and get that relatively clean. Excellent, then just hold out a page in each hand for me, Kirsty. Great, great, lovely, thank you. All right, so look, we only need one or the other, so you're going to either hand one down to the lady on that side or one down to the lady on that side. If you can do that for me. Yeah, whichever one, thank you so much. If that lady could stand, you can sit down for me now, Kirsty. So what page have you got there? The one with 14 on it or whatever was attached to it? It should probably be 70-something.
13.
You got 13 and 14, you've got that side. Okay, great. Will you have a look? What's your name, by the way?
Melissa.
Melissa, will you have a look at both sides for me, Melissa? And you don't need to memorize anything, but just have a look at both sides and get it around the way you'd like to have it and let me know when you've done that. Yep. And what page is that? What can I see? Hold it up for me like this, I can't. What page am I looking at there?
14.
14. Actually, was the number you said. We've sort of come back to it. But we could have gone either way with either page, and that's fine. Okay, 14 it is then. Melissa, you need to start tearing that up. So if you can turn it landscape for me, tear it down the middle, put the two halves together, tear them again, put them together, tear them again. So we get a nice pile of papers. Very important, don't drop any. And also, please try not to screw them up, all right? So a nice neat pile. As you do this... it's the nail. It starts to hurt about now. As you do this, can you come into the aisle as you do it, please? So keep tearing for me. A nice, neat pile of papers, please. Try not to drop any as you do it. Actually, can you come right to the front? Keep tearing for me. Keep tearing until you feel you can't tear them anymore, all right? If you can come just down here for me, Melissa, that'll be great. Imagine one more. When you've done it, just hold out half in each hand. That's probably going to be as much. Great. Turn to face me. That'll be great. Turn to face me. So look, now what you're going to do, this is the only point I'm not going to let you change a decision that's made, all right? I'm going to go with Melissa's decision and I will go with your first decision, all right? When I click my fingers, just as we did back there, you're going to hand to me the half you'd like me to carry on with and the half you'd like me to use. The other half you can drop on the floor or whatever you like, okay? So when I click my fingers, the half that feels right to you, I'd like you to extend to me and those will be the ones I use. Ready? Here we go. Sure? Okay, so I've got to take these without dropping any myself. So let me take them like that. Perfect, wonderfully done. Round of applause for Melissa, I think. Thank you very much indeed, Melissa. All right, do you want to take the microphone for me and head over to the table with me, please? Head over to the table for me. I'm going to put those there. Can you take a seat for me? Sorry, head over to the table and just take a seat there for me. All right. Okay. Now look, we probably, I don't know how many we've got there exactly. If you give me a number between 1 and 10, I'll count off that number of pieces, all right? And again, you can change your mind, as with everything that you choose, you can change, all right? So don't feel committed to it, but into the mic, please, a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to count off that number of pieces that you tell me.
7.
7. Are you happy with the idea of me counting off 7 pieces, or do you want to change the number?
No,
I'll stay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will count off 7 pieces. Now, if I do anything other than count off 7 pieces, if I start taking extra pieces or swapping it, anything like that, you must say so into the mic, because you guys can see fairly clearly, but you have the clearest view here, all right? You are the eyes of the audience and everybody watching this, all right? And everybody watching this on TV as well. Okay, here we go. I will count off 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously you can see these are all different as I do it, 6, 7, that is the 7th piece I'm removing. All right, will you do me a favour, will you please take the next piece for yourself? Okay, I won't even touch it, all right, so I won't, no, take it for yourself, I'm not going to touch it, all right, okay. Now, you need to have a look at that, you need to choose a word on there, all right? So I'll take the mic from you, have a look through it, choose a word. What I want is a nice, long, interesting word on there, all right? Otherwise all this will have been a bit pointless. Have a good read through it, and then give me a nice, long or interesting word on there that you'd like to go with. One that you can read on there. What are you going to go with? Actually, come say this into the mic. Basically, if we end up with a word like the or under or whatever at this point, it will seem a little bit of an anticlimax. So what was that again?
Influential.
Influential, let's have a look. Okay, that's a very good word, thank you. Okay, all right, now look, for the record, not the only long word on there. We've got overwhelmingly, establishment. There's quite a few, educational, but you're happy with influential, yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, if you are, then I am, we'll go with that. That's one word chosen from about 40 on there, but we can certainly see it as one word chosen from about, 2,000 words. It'll be on page 14 of the Daily Mail. We'll have about 2,000 words on it. There'll be about 80 pages in the Daily Mail, so that's 160,000 words just in the Daily Mail, yes? But there were 10 papers that you could have chosen from that were around the room, so that's 1.6 million different words that you had to choose from in this room, and you just, without me exaggerating, and you choose the word influential. Is that fair?
Yeah.
No. No. No, it's not. It is not fair. It's not. It's inevitable. It is not fair. It's inevitable that you chose the Daily Mail right there with Kirsty and didn't want to change your mind. Inevitable you said page 14 and didn't want to change your mind. I was so fair about that. Inevitable, Melissa, that you handed me that half with that word in it. and inevitable that you said to count off 7 pieces and not 3 or just 1 or all 10 or whatever, and that you end up, out of all the long words on there, it was not the only long word on there, correct?
That's true.
Correct? That you chose the word influential. Let me show you why it's inevitable. Open it up. Open it. Good. Okay, you need to hold there for me. Sorry, hold there for me, and one more time into the mic, really loud. The word was?
Influential.
Influential, there it is, influential! Danny, ladies and gentlemen, well done, Danny! Danny, thank you so very much indeed. Danny, everybody! Actually, wait. Sorry, just a second. You're all intelligent people. If you think that worked, you're going to think about this in the bar. You're going to be having a drink afterwards or driving home or up at 4 in the morning trying to work out how that worked. And you're going to think to yourself, and I'm only saying this because I know I would think this if I was watching it myself, all right? You're going to think, okay, we know you were a fair choice of person because you chose the monkey at the beginning. You caught that and we all took a vote. We were happy with you. And you could have changed your mind with the paper. You could have changed your mind with the page, even down to the word at the end. I was fair about that. So I'd think, well, maybe it didn't make any difference what she chose. If that was it. Maybe all that happened was Magic Boy here switches a bit of paper at the end, hopes she goes for that word or something, and, actually you took the paper yourself. It doesn't really make any sense, but it's easy to think. It's a comfortable thing to think that's what happened. But here's the point. Here's the thing. If that is what happened, and it didn't make any difference what paper you chose or what page and all that was rubbish, then that word influential, it wouldn't really be on page 14 of today's Daily Mail. And it is. It is. And if you get the Daily Mail, when you go home, check it. It's in the comment article on the left-hand side of the page. Influential, near the beginning. And if you don't get the Daily Mail, you fucking buy a copy on your way home, check it when you get in. And if you still don't believe me, this is when we open the case within the case that you've had all the way through the show, and the case that was up here on stage with something in it from before we even threw the monkey out, all right? Open it up. What is that?
It's the Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail, take it out for me. Is that the whole of the Daily Mail?
No,
it's just one page inside. What is the page?
It's page 14.
Page 14, take it out for me. And yes or no, is there a word circled in a big red marker halfway down there?
Yeah, it's influential.
Influential, there it is, right there. Page 14, Daily Mail. Page 14, today's Daily Mail, right there. Check it yourselves. Can we get a camera on this? Can you read it? Can you read it, Danny? Thank you so much. I'd like to get back. Danny, everybody. Thank you, Danny. Thank you all. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thank you for packing this place out. Good night. Actually, wait. Can we stop? Hang on. Sorry, could you just sit down again for a second for me? Sorry. You're all intelligent people. If you think that worked just because Danny and Melissa and Kirsty are somehow kind of easy to manipulate, you'd be right, in fact. But only because you all are, that's the point, because you all are. Because that had to work on all of you. Any of you could have caught the papers, any of you could have caught the monkey. It had to work on all of you. Let me explain. The whole of the show, you see, for me, has been kind of about hidden messages. The messages in the foyer that made Danny choose a mouse at the beginning. She had to because of the messages that most of you think of an elephant. And the messages that I've been giving you over the last 2 hours to make you make those decisions. The Daily Mail, page 14, the word influential. You had to, any of you would have done. Let me tell you what I've been doing. We've been filming little bits from the wings, just little clips of the show. And there's a guy called Coops backstage who edits them together and makes a little film, a short film of the show. Let me show you the film from tonight's show. So look, you remember how it started because Danny chose a mouse, she came up, read the thing out, it was a mouse, that was correct, and then she read out, I gave her the briefcase. Now the thing with all of these things, you will remember that I said, or you'll remember because at the time they trip you up. They make, what did he say? And then you start to forget about them. But if I don't play this to you, you forget to remember. You forget to remember. I'll play this to you, you will remember to remember. Listen, this is what I said with the briefcase, listen. It's very simple, you get a number in your head, you turn it to that number, all right? So you get a
14 in your head, you turn it to 14.
Get a 14 in your head. Listen again, listen to that again.
You get a 14 in your head, you get a 14 in your head.
You get a 14 in your head. Danny gets a 14 in her head right from the start. Danny can see peripherally the page numbers of the times as I'm going through. She doesn't know that she's doing it, but she does, and she stops me on page 14 because it feels right. And I know I can say to her twice, in fact, do you want to change? Do you want to change the page? Do you want to change? She won't, because it feels right, so she won't change. And then we did the line game, and before the line game I said that you should all think of the surname of the first person you had a crush on when you were young. Yes? But it's not quite what I said, not the first time. And you'll remember because it would have tripped you up. But you'll remember now when I play this. Listen to what I said.
You can all think of, male, the surname of the first person you had a crush on when you were young.
Listen to that bit again, just listen to that bit again.
Think of, male, think of, male.
Think of Mail, the Daily Mail, all right? And that was the one, when I was throwing the papers out, and as I came off the stage, I said, Daily Mail, oh no, we've had the Daily Mail, I mentioned it. And you went straight for that one, Daddy, because it sticks in your head. And all of you would have done the same thing, straight for that one, the one that I mentioned, the Daily Mail. And then, after the line game, I spoke about there being brochures outside for psychic courses you could go. It's rubbish, there aren't any courses, there aren't any brochures, don't look for them, they don't exist. But it allowed me to say this, listen.
There are some fantastically expensive courses you can go on to learn psychic powers. And if you choose page £1,400 a week to learn rubbish, then that's up to you. Choose page 14. Choose page 14.
Choose page 14. Yes, it's inevitable. And we know it's inevitable because Melissa and Kirsty did the same thing. They did this. Kirsty passed across the 13-14 page. Melissa decides to go with the 14 side, not the 13 on the other side. Inevitable. See, proof. And then during the line game, I had the first guy come forward. I think Tony was his name. And I spoke about how people give themselves away when they're lying. And I sort of tried to put him on the spot. And you kind of laugh because it's like a little joke and you laugh at it. But you forget, then you miss what I said just beforehand with this guy, which actually was quite blatant. But listen again.
Because of the sorts of unconscious behaviours that we unconsciously choose daily, male subjects tend to give themselves a little bit more away than female subjects. Choose daily, male. Choose daily, male.
Choose daily mail. Choose daily mail. You would have done, any of you would have done. She didn't want to change her mind. She didn't want to change her mind. I was so fair. I was so fair about it. And then you go for a drink. You go for a drink, you come back after the drink, I hammer a nail into my nose, and I came to the front of the stage. I don't know what you thought I said at this point, it was just rubbish coming out of my face. But listen to it now, listen to what I said.
Do you hammer daily a number 14 male into your head? Hammer daily a number 14 male into your head. Hammer daily a number 14 male into your head.
Hammer, you get hammer? Yeah, hammer, daily. Daily number 14 male into your head, yes? And then, let me unroll the top hall, and I came to the front of the stage, I spoke about pain being subjective. And oh God, here's the thing, you all knew the word, you knew it was going to be influential all the way through the second half of the show. You knew it was going to be, but you didn't know that you knew. Because Melissa had to know, because when Melissa was tearing up the paper, you had to tear around that word, you had to keep track of it and tear around it without knowing that's what you were doing, and then know which half to give me. She tore around it, listen to what I said, listen.
Pain is very subjective. It's a subjective thing. Like when you're young, when you tear around influential, and you cut yourself. You don't realise that you're cut until you look down and you see the blood, and then suddenly it starts to hurt. Tear around influential. Tear around influential.
Tear around influence, exactly what you do. You put all that together over the last 2 hours. You put all that together, this is what you've been hearing, without realising you've been hearing it.
You get a 14 in your head.
Think of, male. Choose page 14. Choose daily, male. Hammer daily a number 14 male into your head. Tear around influential. Tear around influential. Influential.
Influential. That's why it was the Daily Mail. That's why it was page 14, not 13.